JB&M Sports Fanatics channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB, and we are here live for the Bengals and Broncos here for Monday Night Football, the second of the doubleheader here. And so kickoff already on the way, and Cincinnati on the return here as they get the football first, and we'll start off from their own 31st yard line here. So the Bengals here, obviously last week, if you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan, you turned off the TV early. No lie about that. It was ugly against the Vikings last week. But how will Jake Browning and company respond this game here? And can they get the offense going today? Last week, a lot of mistakes, but they're going to have to play much better football here if they want to stand a chance against the Denver Broncos here. The Bengals, they are 2-1 right now. So here they go from their own 30-yard line here. Went back in the backfield, multiple tight ends, two receivers on the play. Play fake. Jake looking, throws it, incomplete. Try to get the Chase Brown there. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Cincinnati Bengals here again. Opening drive here of the game. And if I'm a Bengal fan, hey, you want to get off to an early start. If you're rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals here, you've got to get off to an early start. Meanwhile, there was a penalty. So let's see what the referee. All right, so a flag was thrown on that play. So SM, what's good? What's good? Let's see, SM says, what's good, JB? Let's hope it's a good game. Hey, fingers crossed that we get a good game in this one. Right now, you just don't know with the Bengals. Quick pass. Chase catches it but tackled immediately. That's what JB needs. My opponent has Jamar Chase in fantasy football, so I need a lot more stuff like that whenever Chase gets the ball. Lewis, what's good? I know we got to restart the win streak for you, but did you take over or under for this game? And what's good with you? All right, 2nd and 11 right now for the Cincinnati Bengals here offensively. 4 receivers on the play, 1 running back, shotgun formation. Looking, throws it to Chase out the backfield, and Chase gets away from the first guy. And he is going to be tackled just shy of that first down marker, but there is a penalty. Again, seeing too many penalties here early in this one. So Lewis took the over at 44, so that means a lot of points. Hey, as long as those points are going to T. Higgins and not Jamar Chase, your boy will be happy about that. Absolutely. But again, everybody, let me know who do you have winning this one and give me your projected final score in terms of how you think this game's going to play out. Again, 3rd and 1 right now for the Cincinnati Bengals here. Got to keep this drive moving here if you're Cincinnati. So this time, Brown up under center. P. Ryan's in the backfield for the Cincinnati Bengals. Quarterback sneak. Quarterback gets it. That's a first down there for Cincinnati, moving the chains. Said, had a great day yesterday. Oh, I bet. I bet you did, Lewis. You know what? JB had a great day too. Great Hawk. Braden, what's good? Braden says, hey, JB. Braden, I got to ask about it, man. What happened? How do you guys end up in a tie with the Cowboys? Tell me about that. Meanwhile, 1st and 10. Put it back and takes it to 49. Oh, really? Let me try to fix that real quick. Give JB 1 second. I'll see if I can fix that. All right, Braden, let me know if this is any better. Let me know if this is any better. RC, what's good? What's good, RC? RC says, JB, what's up? What's good, dog? What's good with you? Oh, man, RC in the building. I know you was happy about them Cowboys. I know you was. All right, 2nd and 6, play fake. Browning looking, taking a deep shot. Incomplete. Excellent coverage there by the Broncos to prevent that deep pass. And again, JB needs more of it going against Jamar Chase in my money league. Let's see, Lewis said, remember my picks? They all hit. All of them, Lewis? Hey, I know you're sitting happy today. I know you are, Lewis. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. That happened, plus the Bears put in work. I know you're happy. As said, LaFleur played for the tie. I hate when coaches do that. I honestly hate when they do that. JB cannot stand a tie. It doesn't make sense to me. Just play until we have a winner at that point. But here we go, 3rd and 6. Throws it up there to Higgins, who comes down with the reception. Higgins. RC said, JB, how about them Cowboys? And so, hey, the Cowboys, they went in there, and I don't know how they did it. What I do know is that Dak Prescott, I'm going against him in my money league, and he got like 36 points. That made JB furious. The fact that he got so many points, and then Quentin Johnson had so many points. So a game that I felt like a matchup I should be winning, I don't know if I'm going to win or not. I just need my guys to come through. So speaking of coming through for the Bengals, from the Broncos 31-yard line, over the middle, gets the completion to the tight end. That's a 9-yard pickup there. Tinsley with the reception. Again, opening drive here. Bengals got the football first, still moving the football here. 2nd and 1 coming up. Brandon said we should have lost that game, but I'm so happy we tied. Oh, man, what's going on, Braden? First the Browns, now the Cowboys. What's going on, Braden? It's early in the season, but I was convinced your Packers were better than that early on. As some said, Dak looked good, RC. All right, 2nd and 1. Gonna get to back in the back. Oh, look at that. I saw a big hole there, but nice pickup by Chase Brown on the ground. 1st down, 1st and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, 11 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. And right now, Cincinnati taking their time, picking up the yards they need to in the process here. But can they get into the end zone? That is going to be the question. I sound better now. Appreciate that. RC said, JB, do I need to get my cowboy hat and tassel out? How about them Cowboys? Not exactly, RC. Not exactly. Save it for a W, all right? Save it for a W. 1st and 10. Gonna give it to Brown. Brown cuts up. Brown knows where that 1st down marker is. Trying to get there. 2nd and 8. Again, 10:20 to go here in the first here, and the Bengals, this is the first offensive possession of the game, and they are trying to come away with some points right now. I like what I'm seeing from Cincinnati right now. You know they're going to try to get Jamar Chase the ball here. Let's see what they do. Archie said, scared money, yeah, and did. All right, 2nd and 8. Browning throws it, gets the completion. Higgins going to pick up about 5-6 yards there with that catch. Now you got 3rd down coming up here, 3rd and short. The thing that I dislike the most about Jake Brown is the fact that he turns the ball over a ton. I'm going to need him to go out there and protect the football if the Bengals are going to try to win this game here. But on this drive, 5 of 6 for 43 yards here on the opening drive, but can it result in points? That's the big question. Let's see, Lewis said he got the Pittsburgh +3, Giants +7.5, Dallas 7.5, Bears versus Raiders under 50. My man cashed out. Cashed out. All right, 3rd and 2 here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Ball right now at the 8-yard line. They need 2 yards for the first. Throws it into the end zone there. Tried to target T. Higgins. Nah. So 4th down coming up here. So at 4th and 2, will they bring out the field goal unit? One would think so. Daniel, what's good? What's good? How are we today? Samuel says, hey, Josh, JB, Dallas, Texas. Yeehaw, y'all. All the way. SM says, JB, would you trade for Russ if you were the Bengals? I would not. I would not. Whatever you get from Browning, at least Browning moves the ball. I do like that aspect. You put Russ back there, I'm not in love with that. I've seen Browning at least, like play with this team, go to the playoffs and stuff. So he just got to cut back on the turnovers, honestly. If he can cut back on the turnovers, I'm okay with that. They just had a disastrous game last week. There's sometimes where you just go out there and everything that can go wrong does go wrong. That's how football is, a game of momentum. But I do think that I like him enough to not make the trade for Russ. I don't think Russ gets you where you want to go. If you trade for Russ, I don't think that makes you a playoff team. So you just don't do it. You just don't do it. So I wouldn't do it. Let's see, Brandon says, I don't know. Think of the Packers right now. He said, "Happy we got a bye week." Yeah, y'all got to figure it out. Y'all got to have a heart to heart, Braden. Like, what do y'all want to be? Do y'all want to be a contender or a pretender? I really feel like y'all got to take a vote in that locker room and determine who y'all want to be. Because I'm here thinking, oh, Micah Parsons, he want to get revenge against his old team. No, it was quite the opposite. His old team wanted to get revenge against him. I don't know what happened, Braden. I really don't know. But all I know is that Dak Prescott is hurting my fantasy team this week because of that performance. So was not too thrilled with your Packers, Braden. But she said, Braden, you're still here. If you are, why don't you tell y'all? Well, sorry, why didn't y'all go for the win? Yeah, I mean, why play for the tie? Why play for the tie? Kenneth, what's good? What's good, Kenneth? How are we today? And so, yeah, JB's doing good. JB's doing good. And you said, let's go Broncos. Okay, Kenneth got Broncos. Who everybody got today? And again, if JB's voice sounds kind of funny, long day at work here, a lot of time on the phone here. So yeah, JB's voice is like teetering right now. So I apologize about that right now. It says, yeah, RC, our clock management was bad at the end. Yeah, terrible. SM said, y'all seen what happened with Cohen and so I did not. I did not. People say you sound like you're sick with a cold. So well, hopefully JB's not. I mean, I feel fine. It's just my voice and stuff like that over the past like 24 hours. I've used it a ton. So yeah, my voice definitely does sound funny. Lewis said Packers couldn't beat Dallas. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, Lewis. Don't do it. Don't do it. Brady says Pats rolled past the Panthers. May is looking really good. You know what? Remind me that again the next time Mike is on, Braden. Remind me that because I was telling Mike, no, I said Bryce Young is not him. He's not. But I love what I saw from the Patriots, especially from Drake May. She said, JB, congratulations on a massive blowout win from the Patriots yesterday. Yeah, it felt really good. It honestly did. It honestly did. I love our special teams unit also. Special teams does win games. All right, so again, score right now, Bengals winning 3-0. They had a nice start to their drive there, but it faded towards the end, got a field goal. Now let's see what the Broncos can do. I need Cortland Sutton to have a game of a lifetime to help my fantasy team. All right, kickoff on the way. Gets the ball at the 2. It's at the 20, 25. Brought down at about the 30-yard line. That's when the Denver Broncos will take over for their first offensive possession of the game today here in the first quarter with 9:03 to go. Let's see what the Broncos can do here this season. Sorry, this game. CRC said, JB, I don't see Jim in the chat at all. Laney, what's good? What's good? How are you? He said, hitting Sam. So you don't see either. You don't see Samuel either? Oh, man, RC, what is going on? All right, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Receiver goes in motion. Gives it to the back. Dobbins going to pick up a couple yards there on that carry. The Bengals say he fumbled the ball. Let's see what the referees say. This is not looking good right now for my fantasy team today. Wait a sec. We got overconfident, in my opinion, after winning the first 2 games and played down to the competition there. I can understand that. I can understand that, cause especially the Browns. The Browns have a really good defense there, and then they added Judkins. But still, up 10-0, 4 minutes to go. Packers did play too conservative there. But against Dallas, I don't know what to say. Knicks looking. Knicks on the move. Knicks running. Throws it. 3rd down coming up. Got the completion there for 5 yards. Right, so Laney's going for the Broncos as well. Brady said, hey, RC, I'm sad Juju won't be playing this upcoming season. Let's see, RC said, Brady, tell you about it. You feel that? Oh, man, what happened? Well, here we go, 3rd and 2. Again, first quarter, 7 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Nick's up under center. He's going to call a timeout. That play clock was at 1 second when he got that timeout off. JB is ever so nervous about his fantasy football team right now. You guys let me know, how did y'all fantasy teams do this past weekend? And so Daniel, what's good? Says, hey everyone, happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday for sure. How are you? Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good with JB. I mean, my voice is going in and out there, but aside from that, JB is doing fine. That's what happens when the Patriots go out there and win. JB ends up losing his voice because of that. So 3rd and 2, gonna toss it here, and just had to fight with everything he could just to get back to the line of scrimmage there. 4th down coming up. So the Broncos just like what they did on that play there. Really wish they would have opened it up passing wise. But 4th down coming up. Let's see. So yeah, Broncos have to punt the ball. Listen says Cohen is on the beefing. Cohen told him to keep his name out of his mouth and they had to be separated. Oh wow. Wow. You know what? Dang, I hadn't seen that in a minute, SM. That's insane. All right, Broncos punt the ball and goes into the end zone. So now we'll see the Bengals come out here for their second offensive possession. First drive did look really good for Cincinnati. Had to settle for 3 points. Let's see if they can keep things going here and actually finish in the end zone. She said, JB, did you stay up and watch the whole game? JB missed a good portion of that game, honestly. I only seen like maybe really probably about a quarter's worth. So I did not stay up for that one. See, I just didn't. I assumed the Packers were gonna take care of business, and I woke up and saw it was a tie. So I did not. Let's see. So Juju tore her ACL, remember? That's right, that's right. That's right. Lewis said you like the Broncos, but you have Cincinnati covering +8. Okay, that's good. That's good. See, what Lewis does is he takes advantage of what the books do when they, how can you put it, like over exaggerate what happened the last game because the Vikings just basically buried them on the field. That's why like this is a good time to go ahead and take them now for that +8. So I like that. I like that. I mean, JB's voice is real tough right now. All right, again, we're currently right now at the commercial. I believe the Dolphins and Jets is currently at halftime, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like they're at halftime. My fantasy teams are in trouble. We're gonna need a miracle. We're gonna need a big, big second half Achon to help me out here. You see, RC says the Broncos are a weird team. SM says my Rams put an end to all that Indiana Jones talk. I was happy to laugh at Mr. JB because of the Rams pulling that one off. But man, it was a close game now. It was a close game. She said, JB, who you got in winner take a game 5 WNBA between Aces and a Fever? I want to say Fever, but I feel like the Aces are gonna get it. I said Aces, sorry. The Ace is gonna win it. I feel like so. Yeah, I'll say Las Vegas gets the W. She said more like Indiana wrongs. You see, blaming on Mitchell from the coach. Yeah, I heard that he had to apologize to his team like before the meetings and stuff. I'd be like, man, we don't need your apologies. We need you to go out there and get us W's. That's what we need. That's a big loss for them because I mean, they're what, the same record as the Jacksonville Jaguars currently right now in a game that who knows, you're probably could have won. You hate to drop games that you feel like you could win, but hey, it's what he does the rest of the way that matters the most. But we're seeing a lot of that from receivers this year. The receivers are just making mistakes. All right, and again, let's see what Cincinnati does this time out there. Run play here. Brown's going to pick up about 5 yards on the carry. Again, here in the first quarter, about 6 minutes and 38 seconds to go here in the first. Second and 5 coming up. She said, JB, so tell me, bro, is it time for us to trust Trevor Lawrence? See what you did there. Not yet. Not yet. Football's a long season. Let's see what he looks like the second half of the season. We need to see a full season body of work and see them competitive and actually win a playoff game before we're like, okay, maybe. A deep shot here, incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. And he says, go Jags. That's right. Didn't Travis Hunter fumble the football? I think that last game, because I haven't heard too much from Travis Hunter this season, honestly, but I think he fumbled the football. So pass interference was the call. And again, doing his best to stay with Jamar, but hey, I'll take it. For JB's fantasy football's sake, I'll take it. SM says Sean McVay gave the ball to Mitchell. He probably dropped that too. Feeds it to the back here and 2 yards on the carry. Little activity after the play. Cincinnati getting physical. I like that for them. I like that a lot for them. She said, condolences, Rice. What a name. JB, I wonder if people call her kind of. I doubt that. I doubt that. I doubt that. I highly doubt it. All right, second and 7. Again, here in the first quarter with 5:20 to go. Bengals up 3-0 right now over the Broncos from their own 40-yard line. Looking, throws it, gets the ball to Chase, and Chase makes the reception, picks up about 5 yards on the play. So now you got a 3rd and 2 coming up with 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of play. Again, the Bengals, this is their second offensive drive of the game. Some says you drop Knicks on one of your fantasy teams, you're getting Mac Jones vibes from him. Ooh, interesting. That sophomore slump, it is real, ain't it? It is real, that sophomore slump. All right, 3rd and 2. Throws this one up, and T. Higgins tries to make the catch. Unable to. Okay, so 4th down coming up. RC said, you hope the Dolphins lose. You enjoy when they when they lose. What have the Dolphins ever done to you, RC? Let me know. What have they ever done to you? I just need the Dolphins to get Achane the ball. I don't care if it's running. I don't care if it's passing. I don't care if they win. I don't care if they lose. Just give Achane the football. Let him get 2 touchdowns in the second half. JB needs it badly. All right, 4th and 2 here for Cincinnati. Oh, look at that. Broncos making dumb mistakes. What was he thinking? Like, dude, use your head. He must be my opponent in fantasy football. He's got to be. Giving a gift to the Bengals where you gifted them with a first down. Samuel says, hey, JB, look, linebacker New England Patriots, jersey 91, 2015 players. You're saying you're going to get JB a Patriots jersey is what I'm hearing. He said, JB, they live somewhere too warm and it's too pretty there. And so, man, I hear you, RC. When you put it like that, considering where you are, I get it. So they don't need a football team, they need a hairdresser team. RC. Nice. Oh, so they punt the ball. So that was against the Bengals there. Okay. All right, Bo Nix, let's see how you respond. Yeah, he is off to a slow start, and it does concern me if we're talking especially fantasy football because, it's the same reason I stay away from my own guy, CJ Stroud. Rookie year, I drafted him like final pick of the draft just because I needed a backup quarterback, and he was a starter. And I watched him at Ohio State, so I knew he was good. I knew he was going to have that good of a rookie year. But man, since then, it's just been he's off my fantasy football radar for sure. He said they were really great when Marino was there, but how long ago was that? You say 91 years ago? Not quite that long, RC, although it does feel like it. It does feel like it. To think that they had the opportunity, RC, to land someone like Drew Brees, but the doctor talked them out of it. That's crazy. Phoenix, what's good? How are we today? And how's everybody Monday going so far? Hopefully everybody's having a great start to the week. Tomorrow's the last day of the month, guys. We're almost in October. And so you guys got to let me know, what are you guys thinking about for Halloween in terms of, costumes, whether you have children and they're going to have costumes or you yourself participating? Let JB know, what are you guys thinking now that we're almost in October? Oh, your friend name was Jamie Collins. Good old Jamie Collins. Now that's a name that makes JB smile there. Great Patriot, linebacker indeed. And Mr. JV says, let's go Broncos. She said, JBZ, take it easy. Yes, yes, that takes me back right there, RC. That takes me back. JBZ. Does anybody in the chat remember what JB said was his least favorite nickname that he had in high school? Like, it didn't last long. It was more so like freshman year, but I despised the nickname. It's like because I've had like many nicknames, but that was like my least favorite one. I think I mentioned it one time on the stream before, if anybody recalls. All right, so here we go. First quarter, 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Running back goes in motion here for the Denver Broncos. Again, I need Bo Nix to throw it to Courtland Sutton, and I need it bad, like a big play, preferably a touchdown. Bo on the run, picks up about 3 yards on the quarterback run. Second down coming up here. Again, 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Broncos looking for their first points of the game. And honestly, they got to move the chains because right now we're still in the first quarter, but it's almost the end of the first quarter. I haven't seen anything so far from the Broncos offensively, so they've got to show JB something. RC said, JB, was it R. Kelly? I bet Kells was like they called me Kells. That was one of the nicknames, but it was not my least favorite one. At the time, I didn't too much mind at the time. If only I knew what was going to happen in his future. Passed it incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. He will not throw the ball to my guy. That's a nice guess, RC. That shows you've been paying attention. Phoenix says you got a wedding on Halloween, so a suit and tie and cowboy hat. Oh man, Phoenix. Wish that we could see that. That is interesting, like come to think of it. I've not witnessed too many Halloween weddings, but I can imagine the creativity behind it. I like that. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. All right, 3rd and 7. Throws it, gets it to my guy Cortland Sutton here, takes it all the way to the 49-yard line of the Bengals. We need more of it. Sean Payton, get aggressive, man. I mean, they talk about Sean Payton back in the day like he was just the greatest mind there was. I need to see it. I need to see it. Asked him, said, JB, have you ever been to a Horror Nights in Universal Studios? I have not been. I have not been. I have not been, but I'm sure the wife would love to go there. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Broncos from the 49-yard line. Play fake, looking. Bo throws it to the tight end. The tight end rumbling. Goes out of bounds. Let's see. Meanwhile, over here. See, RC said whenever he runs, his name is Go Bolt Knicks. RC, the man that never, ever runs out of sayings here. Sammy says, hey, JB, look now at Google search Jamie Collins, Patriots, and so. Oh, I know Jamie Collins. JB is familiar. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen, tight end, top of the formation, 1 back. Give it to the back, in the back, off the right side. Makes the first guy miss. Still running. Tripped up just a yard shy of that 1st down marker. But honestly, if he doesn't get tripped up, maybe he's going into the end zone right now. RC says, okay, maybe it was a bonehead. Maybe. RC said, JB, 3 days until the new Taylor Swift album drops. I really can't wait. So, I'm excited for you, RC. I know you've been looking forward to that. Phoenix says it's downtown Kansas City by Mahomes' new steakhouse. That's out of our price range. Ooh, so I need to contact 80s then if I'm gonna be able to go there. All right, give it to the up back, and he gets the 1st down, takes it all the way to the 10-yard line. Okay, this is perfect. This is where you go ahead as a coach and you get Cortland Sutton one-on-one out there on the outside and let him do what it do. You help your team, you help JB's fantasy team. I think that's a win-win situation, honestly. So here was the Broncos here, 1st and 10. They've got J.K. Dobbins in the backfield here, multiple tight ends on the play, multiple tight ends, 1 receiver. Gonna feed it to the back, and the back is gonna fight forward to, let's see, about that 6-yard line. And Phoenix, leading by example, says he is smashing the like button. I appreciate that and appreciate you. And guys, last time, it was crazy last time we went live, like finally having like over 5,000 views on that last Oregon versus Penn State game. That was a great game, guys. That was a great game. I don't know what to say about Drew Alar. I don't know what it is. I know he's got talent. Like, I know we hear it often, but he's got real talent. But he's got to put it together. Meanwhile, throws it incomplete. Incomplete. Wrong receiver. Wrong receiver. Throw it to your boy Cortland Sutton. She said, JB and Phoenix, just go in there and just ask for a glass of chilled water, a couple of napkins, and 1 fry. Say, can I please get 1 fry? Just like that. Just like that. He said, JB, guess what I forgot to tell you? What did you forget to tell me, RC? Now I'm curious. All right, 3rd and 5 here. Come on, man. Come on, Bo Nix. You got 1 job. Throw it to 14. Throw it to him. He's open. He's always open. Throw it. Don't you run it. Come on. Where's the flag at, referee? Bo Nix runs it in there. Does JB absolutely no good. But the Broncos scored a touchdown. A 6-yard rushing touchdown from the quarterback, Bo Nix, for the Broncos to score. See, Phoenix says, RC, haha, I just need to win finishing. I'm fishing tournament. JB can't speak. Or some cash at the casino. There you go. Phoenix, I didn't know you hit up the casino. I didn't know my man Phoenix rolled the dice from time to time. But no, it's the fishing tournaments. That's what it is. How lucrative would winning a fishing tournament actually be? I am very curious about how that could be. Maybe it's time for JB to just go out there and just be fishing while I'm streaming. She said they can't kick you out as long as you order something. As he Phoenix says, when you win money at fishing, you take the wife to the casino. Oh man, Lewis, I know he was gonna pop into the chat. The moment we started talking casino, you can't talk casino without talking Lewis. He's like that's his home there. That's you will always find him there unless he's on vacation. Oh man, but hey, that's nice though. I do wonder, like, what are the like Phoenix? Is it like based upon where you finish? Like, I guess a first place prize, second place, maybe a third place consolation, or is it winner take all? JB is very curious. A minute. So Phoenix has $150 entry fee, and first place gets 2,500. So 2,500 Phoenix. Wow, wow. Okay, well, how many contestants are there usually, Phoenix? Like typically, if the prize is about 2,500, about how many people would you typically say that you are competing against? Is it like, well, just how many people are you competing against usually? And how do they go about determining the competition? Like some of the rules and stuff? JB is extremely curious. All right, so RC says, so tomorrow RC, are you trying to tell me that you're going to be streaming the final WNBA game? That's what you're trying to tell me, because we did talk about that. It's all coming back. As Samuel said, hey, JB, Jamie Collins is a former NFL linebacker and two-time Super Bowl champion who transitioned to coaching in 2025. He played for the New England Patriots. And so, yes, a part of my championship teams. But I did not realize that he transitioned into coaching. But yeah, him, Dante Hightower, those guys, they were extremely great Patriots during that time. Phoenix says second place gets 1,000. So 30 votes on average there. Okay, okay, okay. That's what's up. So that is what Phoenix is doing there. That's why he spends so much time fishing. Aside from the love of the sport, also the love of winning. And then he takes a band and he duplicates it. All right, so the Bengals find themselves now trailing 7-3. They're going to come out. There's only 17 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So after we hit that, we'll be at the commercial. All right, let's see. She said, JB, no, no, no. I'm going to do my Cubs, bro. You say the wild card. Best of three. Okay. Oh, I didn't. You know what? I really got to tune in now. Really got to tune in now and learn me a little something about baseball. That's what I need to do. Mr. Sanders says that Jamie Collins is from McCall Creek, Mississippi. I did not know that. I did not know that. So you're a Cubs and Phillies fan? Okay. Any story behind how you selected those two teams there? Well, obviously being in Chicago, I understand the Cubs there, but what the Phillies? How did that come about? Phoenix says season points for all year. Yes, the love of the competition is the main reason. I mean, it's like you get to do what you love, but at the same time, you can justify it with the wife because it's like, hey, I'm winning cash, right? So awesome, awesome. Love it. Love it. RC says Samuel was in all three of my Cub live streams this season. Laney says, I'll be back after halftime. Got to go let the phone charge. That appreciate the heads up. He said, that's his new name now. Thanks to RC, it's Samuel now, not Samuel, Samuel. Oh man. You know what, Phoenix? You taught me something today. You taught me something today. We might just have to have Mr. JB enter into one of those competitions, see how he fares. Oh, man, got the man first place out there, Samuel. Okay, okay. Samuel knows his stuff. I'm gonna need H-on to get something going here. Of course, Miami scores again by throwing it to Darren Waller rather than throwing it to H-on. That's who deserved the touchdown. I'm going to need to adjust the score like fast, as in like run back the kick return, get the ball back to the Dolphins. She said, JB, I randomly did baseball streams. It was up and down. And so I really didn't know that you were doing baseball too. I did not know that. So now I've got to chime in and see how that, how that looks. Phoenix says weekly Wednesday night club, 25 to enter, winning about 500-ish. Okay, and it's still about roughly 30 people for those competitions, or does it vary like a little bit differently? I skipped one here. Let's see. Lewis said that I'm staying away from fishing. The only thing I always catch is a code. Oh man. Hey, what happened to Tyreek Hill? I see that they're carting Tyreek off the field. What is going on? How did Tyreek get hurt? Man, tough luck. Of course, he said, "Oh, the other thing, JB, is I was watching women's collegiate volleyball yesterday, and it hit me. This is fun. I really should tap in this market. You don't see a lot of volleyball streamers. That you don't. That you don't. JB is the only person that I remember when I had mentioned in the past that I was a fan of watching the collegiate women's volleyball. Let's see if we can just get touchdown age on just one touchdown is what JB's asking for. Said born October 20th, 1989, and 35 years old now. Okay, still young. All right, 31 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Gonna run it. That's a first down, but there is a penalty. There is a penalty. Now we're at the early stage of the second quarter. Broncos up 7-3. All right, so we're gonna decline it there against the defense. John Franklin Myers. Oh man, JB's fantasy team needs some work, y'all. I need some work. Let's see. You know what? I didn't even. I'm tripping, RC. Tripping. You said, what y'all think about Good Bunny? The upcoming Super Bowl halftime show. Oh man, that's all I've been seeing lately. That's all I've been seeing. JB's got no comments there. At 1st and 10, taking a deep shot to Higgins, and Higgins gets the catch. There is a penalty. Oh man, did JB start the wrong receiver? Should I have started T. Higgins instead? So she said, JB running back by John Robinson, really, really good. I like by John Robinson. I do. Now, if we're talking fantasy football, yes. If we're talking statistically, yes. But does it always translate to victories for the Atlanta Falcons? No. So I'm ready for him to get to the point where his impact is more closer to a Saquon Barkley, to where when he has a good game, it results in a W. But he is essentially the offense for the Atlanta Falcons there. So is he good? Yes, he's good. Now, am I going to say really, really good? I believe he's really, really good. And he's only going to get better, I feel like. Lewis says he likes watching women's beach volleyball. I can see Lewis out there with the shades now. I can see it. They're like, who is this guy? Is he the security guy? Why is he so close? Oh, man. Yeah, second quarter with about 13 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And the Broncos leading this one right now 7-3. But the Bengals, they are on the move right now. But they had a penalty, moving back 10 yards. So 1st and 20. What do? Four receivers, one running back from your own 39-yard line. It's a draw play. Brown running, Brown pushing, fighting, takes on four Broncos. You're not going to win that battle. Second down coming up. Picked up about a good 5 yards there on the carry, though. Nice carry. Samuel says, hey, JB. Oh, no. Wow. Jamie Collins, jersey 58, played NFL team, played for the, you said the Lions? Was that his most recent team? I see Darren Waller is just showing off with the Dolphins. That's all nice and stuff, but JB needs H-John to get some points. Sorry, H-Chan, I'm sorry, to get some points. But she said, then the women will say, is that a remote control? I surely hope, well, RC, let's just put it this way, RC. You both will be separated. You both will be separated in that instance. RC is a fool with it. And again, we're at the commercial here. And again, right now, Broncos leading this one 7-3 in this one. We're here in this second quarter. Still plenty of time. 13-10 left to go. Let's see. Well, that's one way to get arrested. That's one way to get arrested for sure at the volleyball event. See, I did not start T. Higgins on my fantasy football team. I chose to start Cortland Sutton over T. Higgins on my fantasy team. I'm wondering if that was the right decision. I hope that Cortland Sutton can get some more targets in this one. We will see. Again, we're at the commercial right now, so we are not missing anything at all at the commercial. As she said, JB, did you hear what Scary Jerry Jones said about Dak and Mika? What did he say after the game? What did he say after the game? Because again, JB had went to sleep. JB was like, work the next day, got to get some sleep. Here goes the Cincinnati Bengals on 2nd and 15. 13 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. From their own 44-yard line. Snaps it. Looking. Browning on the move. Browning just throws this one away. That's all he could do. So 3rd and 15. If you're the Broncos, first and foremost, you cannot commit any stupid penalty here. And just play great coverage. Play great coverage there. Keep everything in front of you. And for JB's sake, don't throw it to Chase. But don't let him throw it to Chase. Oh, wait a minute. How did the Jets score that touchdown? I see the Jets have a touchdown. How did they score that touchdown? That's big. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 15 right now. 4 seconds on the play clock. He's going to take the penalty here. Delay the game on the Bengals. I guess they say it's already 15 yards, so what's 20 yards going to do? At this point, you might as well just go ahead, call a draw play, get what yard you can. 3rd and 20. So they accepted that penalty there. As he said, Jerry said he would never part with Dak because Dak was worth every ounce of money and was not tradable, and that Mika wasn't worth the money, and thus he was tradable in that sense. He didn't have to say that. He really didn't. Get Jamar Chase. Make him fumble that football. See, that's how y'all hurt JB. That's how y'all hurt JB. Y'all let him get a couple yards there, 10 yards at that. Steve Samuel says Jamie Collins wore jersey number 8 for the Detroit Lions in 2021. He switched to single digit number after the NFL expanded the rules to allow linebackers for it in 2021. Has it been 4 years already? Oh man, I remember when I first found out about that. I thought it was going to irritate me to see it, but now I fully embraced it. All right, so referee's going to call a penalty here. He said, ironically, Parsons saved the tutty from happening last night when Dak was about to run it in. Oh boy, I need a lot more from my fantasy teams right now. All right, 12:07 to go here in the second quarter of play. Okay, punts on the way. See if we get a return here. All right, no return. Go to the end zone. She said, JB, let's talk about this tie and games in game stuff. It's done, bro. You said, I'd rather them go back to instant sudden death like before than do this game ends in a tie. I don't know why the NFL refuses to not let it end in a tie. The only reason I can think of is that the NFL is thinking about the fact of, the TV channel being there too long. They'd have to switch the viewership. But JB didn't want to hear that either. JB does not want to hear that either. What JB wants to hear is that we are no longer going to end in a tie. Because what's that? Like, really, what's that? What's that? Like, JB doesn't like ties. You play to win the game. That's what RC said. That's what Herm Edwards said. You play to win the game. She said if 10 minutes go by in overtime, then it's simple. Go five more. I mean, why don't we do like college football? Why don't we just get rid of the whole time in overtime and stuff like that? Since each, like obviously if somebody gets a touchdown first, great. If not, since we're going to give both teams the opportunity to get the football here, let's just eliminate time whatsoever. And then once both teams have had the chance to score, unless the first team scored an outright touchdown, then after that, just play till we have somebody win. Just that simple. Let's get rid of time altogether because it's overtime already. We don't need time. This isn't like the NBA or basketball where it makes sense to have time. Just get rid of time. Germ Edwards. Stop it, RC. Put some respect on his name. All right, so getting ready to continue. Again, we are here in the second quarter. 11:52 left to go here in the second. All right, Bo Nix out of the shotgun here. Throws it to the receiver. What is this? Using Cortland Sutton as a blocker. Like, why are they doing this to JB is what I want to know. Why? He should be targeted a ton. So they're finally going to show JB what happened, I guess, on that touchdown play. Hey, it was a nice run there by Justin Fields. Should have seen that one coming. Looking on the move, throws it short once again. Out of bounds. 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, 11:15 to go in the second. All right, let's see. Sammy said Jamie Collins, position linebacker, and his height was 6'3". Defensive touchdowns, he had 2. And pass deflections, he had 39. Broncos snap it, throws it. Tight end again, this time inbounds. Picks up about a good 6 yards there on the play. Third down coming up. I think, you know what? It's like the saying says, Bo knows. Bo knows exactly who I have on my fantasy team there, and he's avoiding him purposely at this point. JB's convinced. Third and 4. Under the shotgun. 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. Nix throws it. There's a flag. It's caught by Sutton, and Sutton breaking loose, but this penalty, let's see who is against. It's never good when the camera zooms in on a lineman when the flag is thrown. Oh, it's on the defense. Okay, decline that. Yeah, decline that for JB. Please do it for me. I need more of this. I'm about to say, I like to see a little energy out of you, Cortland Sutton. Go in the quarterback face and say, hey, keep feeding me the ball. Something. He said, JB, they will never do the no time overtime because that's unpredictable and it can go on for hours possibly. JB's all for it. Oh, looking. Oh, throws it. Oh, overthrew his target there. Harvey tried to get open. He did get open, just overthrew him. You get the Broncos leading right now, 7-3, just over 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Play for that time. He had time, had his running back, just completely overthrew him. Hashtag, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. He knows. He knows. -3 for the accuracy on Madden. He knows. Mike. Mike. What's good, Mike? Oh man, Mike. Mike, I gotta mention it, Mike. We were talking about the Carolina Panthers and Patriot game before. I told you Bryce was not there yet. He wasn't there yet. I'm pretty sure now that you saw what happened, hey, Bryce Young still has a little ways to go. You say, what happened to Tyreek? I was watching this game. I saw he was carted off the field, but I don't know the injury. Like, how did it happen since I was streaming this game? But I am curious myself. Portland Sutton, can he take it? I thought he was gonna. I thought he had more space than he did there. JB got a little excited there. But man, big time play. That's what I'm talking about. That's what JB needs for his fantasy team. There's a Bengals player that's hurt. And then Achon scored a touchdown. Y'all, JB's fantasy team's got some life right now. I really do. If my man Cortland Sutton can get me in the end zone, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. But yeah, if anybody has an update that actually saw what happened and how Tyreek got hurt, I'm interested myself in figuring out how exactly did he get hurt. I just saw that they showed he got carted off the field. Mike, I'm about ready to fold on Bryce. Hey, don't do it, Mike. Don't do it. Achon came through for your boy with that touchdown. Man, he came through for the kid. Now I'm right there. My team can do this. Just can use little help there from Cortland Sutton. Just get us into the end zone. Keep feeding Cortland Sutton. But let's see. RC says it's time. It's that time, guys. Better start, bench, and cut. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. You guys can go ahead and respond to this question as well. I got it up there. Meanwhile, the Broncos give to the receiver on the end around the receiver. Can he get there all the way? It looks like that's going to be a touchdown. Marvin Mims. And that's what happens when you step into Marvin's room right there. 16-yard run for the touchdown. And now the Broncos are up 13-3, pinning the extra point to make it 14. Just like that. And Lewis needs points. That he does. I feel you. I feel you. And look at that. Look at that. When your receivers are out there throwing blocks like that, it's a good day. It's a good day. Extra point is good. Now it is 14-3. Broncos on top right now here in the second quarter with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go. So right now, you're the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you going to press the panic button right now for getting Molly whooped the week before by the Minnesota Vikings? And now Broncos are up 14-3. How will they respond? How will they respond? Is it time to call Russell Wilson? Maybe JB was wrong. I don't know. Something's going on. But Lewis needs points. JB just needs anybody except for Jamar Chase the ball out. Man, how about that for Monday Night Football, guys? All right, so Lewis is going to take the first crack at it, and he says he's going to go Clinton Portis. All right, so start him. Going to put Work Done on a bench, and then you're going to cut JT. Cut JT. I feel you. I feel you. For me personally, I think I would also start the great Clinton Portis, you know, and then as long as I keep Clinton Portis away from the community so he doesn't fool the community and stuff like that, start Clinton Portis. I'm going to bench Jonathan Taylor. Love Warwick Dunn. I love what he did for the community in Atlanta. Love him, but I really like Jonathan Taylor also. For talking peak Jonathan Taylor, give me that, and then I'm going to have to cut Warwick Dunn. But man, can the Jets respond in that matchup? That's the question. All right, and Sammy comes through again. He says Jamie Collins, they played NCAA college football. Georgia, Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles back in 2009. Really? He went to Southern Miss there? I thought he spent some time at them, I thought. Interesting. No, I'm confusing it with Dante Hightower, I think. JB could very well be wrong. Okay, okay. And of course, the Patriots, Browns, Lions, and then back to the Patriots. It all comes full circle. All comes around full circle. And again, we are here in the second quarter of play with about 8 minutes and 48 seconds left to go here before we reach halftime right now. And Cincinnati is trying to figure things out. I think for my pick'ems this week that I chose the Dolphins to beat I did choose the Dolphins to beat the Jets when we did my weekly picks, and I chose the Broncos to beat the Bengals also. So looks like my picks are working. That's RC says JB is really, really weird, bro. Says, I feel you. I kick off on the way, gets it from his own 6-yard line, 15, 20, 25. Brought down at the 28-yard line. There is a penalty. So we'll see what the penalty is here in the second quarter with about 8 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Well, see, I did not choose the Jags to beat the 49ers. At least I did not choose them to beat the 49ers. With Brock Purdy coming back, if it wasn't for Brock Purdy being back, and if I would have thought that Mac Jones was going to start, I think I would have chose the Jaguars there. But I figured that Brock Purdy would do enough, but JB was wrong. JB was wrong. So here we go. Browning still in there at quarterback. But right now, those squiggly lines from Madden, they are real for him right now. It's got to be. After the last couple weeks, couple games he's had, he needs to get some positive stuff going somehow, some way. She said, JB, yesterday and the day before, I wanted to go cold turkey on YouTube today. I wanted to record again. Hey, that's how it is as a life of, a YouTuber. Some days you're like, man, am I close to retirement? Other days you're like, man, I can go on forever. All right, play fake, looking. Throws this one incomplete. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, trailing right now 14-3. Just trying to find something right now. They're just trying to find something. As he said, JV yesterday, George Pickens was balling. And so, as he should, given with CeeDee Lamb not being there, as he should, is the main guy. Just hopefully next time he doesn't do it against JB's team in fantasy football when it comes to helping Dak Prescott. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Bengals. Looking, throws this one deep. Incomplete. Tried to find T. Higgins there. Incomplete. I don't like the body language right now that Jake Browning is displaying. This is a quarterback that he's showing like he's frustrated. There is the moment's too big right now for him, it seems like. And they've got too much talent, especially on the offensive end. All you got to do is just throw up a 50-50 ball. JB can go out there and quarterback right now for the Cincinnati Bengals. See, Brayhawk says the Tyreek Hill injury is horrible. What happened with that one, Braden? What did he hurt? 3rd and 10, looking, feeling the pressure, feeling it. There's a flag, just flings it upfield. There's a flag, probably holding, but let's see what they say. She said, JB, it's nothing too personal. It's just some days I don't like people, and some days I don't even like my own self. If you're being honest, hey, we all been there. We all been there, be there, go back and forth. I feel you. You say time for Cincinnati to put in Chad Hutchinson. Chad Hutchinson, you're going back, man. You're going back. Why not just say Achilles Smith? Why stop there? Why not say Achilles Smith? Right. It says Bengals trade for Jameis Winston. Trade for somebody. Trade for JB. Trade for JB. I promise you, they can afford JB even with all the salaries that they're already paying. I mean, that's what an emergency quarterback is for. Put me in there. Let's see. You said his leg got bent in the other direction. Oh man, that's terrible, especially considering Tyreek needs his legs. Like he needs his legs. So that's horrible. Greyhawk says, been there, RC. Yeah, because Brayhawk, he cost his team the state championship game. Missed both free throws. Couldn't believe it when he told me. Missed both free throws in the state championship game after averaging 32 points a game in the regular season, 11 assists, and about 7 rebounds. Then the game on the line just went 0 for 2. She said, I mean, hey, if we're going to do it, why not do it? Why not? Why not? You got some experience with the Frankfurt Galaxy. I'm sure he's good to go. All right, so here we go for the Broncos. 1st and 10. Fakes to the back, looking, throws it, gets to the tight end. Tight end not going nowhere. There is a flag. St. JB in 2025, former NFL Pro Bowler Jamie Collins is the inside linebacker coach at the University of North Carolina in 2025. Oh, so he's down there in North Carolina too. Oh man, so he's got the Blues as well. He said, JB, that's just cruel. He's Memphis 51 right now. That would be brutal. That would be brutal. That would be. Let's see, Raina says, I don't think that's true, JB. I mean, everybody knows you're a 5-star athlete. 5-star athlete, but those 2 missed free throws caused several schools to rescind their scholarship offers after that. So it was truly tragic for Brayhawk. You say his son is playing for Oregon now? I didn't know that. Toss it to the back here on 2nd and 12. Got to find some room. Got to make some room. Oh, he ran right to that linebacker. Ran right into him. All right, so let's see the penalty here. Again, Broncos up 14-3, second quarter, 7 minutes and 51 seconds to go, and they call an illegal use of hands against the Bengals, number 91 there. You're gifting them. You're gifting them yards. You're gifting them the first. What are you doing? Bruh, what the heck? What are you trying to do? Get your hands off of my fantasy football receiver. See, Braddock says he will admit that he is the athlete that cost his team the championship game, but he wasn't a 5-star. He says he was a 4-star recruit. My bad there, Braden. 5-star, 4-star, same thing. Meanwhile, oh, what a nice cut. Excellent job there by J.K. Dobbins. I'm telling you, anytime you get an opportunity in fantasy football to add a guy like J.K. Dobbins to your squad, that's always a good idea because for some reason he's always underrated. But going back to his Ohio State days, he was just like this. These are the plays that he makes. As he says, Brayok and JB, I threw my TV at another TV when the link's locked. You don't take two TVs out at once, RC. Never do that. Broncos run play again. First down, running, knocks his man down and still running up that hill. Big time play there by J.K. Dobbins. Here in the second quarter, with about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go here before halftime. Broncos already up 14-3. Bengals, what are we doing? What are we doing? She said, Braden is happily capping. He is the first 6-star recruit ever, JB. You heard it too, RC. You heard it too. Everybody heard about it. They call it the free throws that was heard across the globe. Everybody heard the bank when he missed both of the free throws. Oh, Thomas, he's doing it. He's doing it. Someone get him off the dance floor. And so, absolutely, Samuel, absolutely. Let's see, Brady says, well, RC, you're a Cowboys fan, so you should be used to doing that. Ooh, shots are fired. Brock says, I guess I was. Absolutely. There's no shame. Plenty of times JV was at the free throw line and froze. Just never with the game on the line, though, but still. I see what happened there. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. But you know what? If you throw the ball to Cortland Sutton, that can fix everything. So again, throws it to the back of the backfield in the back, using his blockers. Oh my goodness. Harvey's he's getting planted out there in that field. I'm telling you. Every time I look, he's running right into the big hit. Let's see. And 17 for the Denver Broncos. They are currently right now in the Bengals side of the football field. Play fake. Looking. Take that shot. Throws it. Gets the completion. Look, who is it to? I got a feeling, yes, definitely not. Of course, it's not my guy. Franklin, really. So she said, I normally just lay on the floor and start flopping. It's like cry tears of pain and embarrassment as the Cowboys losing. Similar feeling with the Colts in past years, too. Mike says, who's Denver's running back? Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. You may not remember, Mike, but last year J.K. Dobbins was with the Chargers. And the year before that, the team that drafted him was the Baltimore Ravens, and he went to college at Ohio State. So J.K. Dobbins, he's good. The only problem with J.K. Dobbins is that he will get injured. That's my biggest problem with him, is that he stays getting injured. But if you get a healthy J.K. Dobbins, he is extremely good at slashing, whether it's pass game, run game, he'll make it do what it do. Speaking of making it do what it do, throws it to the receiver Franklin again out of spite for JB. Like, come on, throw it to Gordon Sutton, please. Ooh, Braden says the heel dislocated his knee and is headed to the hospital. That is terrible news, Braden. Terrible news. Terrible news. This is also RJ Harvey. And so, yep, they've also got RJ Harvey as well. So, yeah, J.K. Dobbins and RJ Harvey. Harvey is number 12. Play fake, looking, throws it, gets it to his receiver. Short pickup there. 2nd and 10 coming up. Must have been incomplete. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here before halftime. It's like, bruh, what are we doing? Stop trying to throw it to the no-namers. Throw it to JB's guy. That's all I'm asking. And that's right. Neighbors is done as well. That's right. Man, I hated that too. I was looking forward to seeing Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors. And this comes from somebody that don't too much care about the Giants, but I wanted to see that. Fakes it, throws it, gets to the receiver, knocks him out. He's going to be about 2 yards away from the end zone, about a yard shy of that first down marker. It's not too late to give it to JV's guy, you know. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. Brandon says Dobbins has torn both his ACL and Achilles. Yeah, he's been through a lot. Oh, yeah, he has been. I said Diggs had a good catch. And so, yeah, that's right. Finally, it's about time. Samuel says Jamie Collins. Brayhawk says, give me a Dobbins touchdown. I'll tell you what, have Dobbins throw the ball to Cortland Sutton. I don't see Sutton anywhere in sight, so let them not score on this play. And oh, Harvey trying to get it outside, he can't. He can't. This is why you keep your receiver on the field. As he said that he's on Instagram. You got his Instagram for us too? That's what's up. Mike said you recently found out 40-40 last night. Kind of let down. And I hate when the game ends in a tie. Like that just irks me because it's like let them just whatever we got to do. We should never have an NFL game end in a tie. I don't care if once the clock runs out, if it's a tie, then both teams bring out their field goal kickers and they both kick the ball from the 35-yard line, and then whoever misses first, that's who loses at that point. However, I guess if one kicker makes it and the other kicker miss and stuff like that, you know, if we got to do that to basically make sure that we don't end up in a tie, then heck, why not? Why not? Have the kickers go ahead and just go out there and kick it out. Start from the 35, they both make it, then they go back to the 40. They both make it, go back to the 45 until somebody misses. That's what I would do. And it says Jamie Collins. Mike says, I wonder why the NFL thinks that it's a good idea to have ties because the NFL doesn't think. They don't think. The NFL just says, here, this is what you get. 4th and 1. Come on, Bo Nix. Pass this ball to Cortland Sutton. I believe in you. Give it to Sutton. Sutton, get open. Give it to him. You fool. You know what? You deserve that. You deserve it. You deserve it. A lot of followers right there. That's not what the fans paid for. Exactly, Mike. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. That's one of the things I wish the NFL would change, along with, you know, when it comes to the NFL players and the grass and stuff. You know, they don't want to play on the turf. Let it all be grass. You got a lot of money, use it. You got the money, use it. You think he dropped that one? It did look like he dropped that one, didn't it? It did look like he dropped it. All right, she said, Jamie, this game is so wonderful and epic plus exciting. Exactly. You see, JB's got energy. JB's got energy. And it's not just because JB's fantasy football team is about to pull off a miracle, it seems like. So NFL is extremely greedy and monopolistic. What really made me mad was that, Mike, it was almost 2 decades ago today when the NFL made the decision that for their college football and NFL license can only go out to the Madden game, in which don't get me wrong, love the Madden game, nothing wrong with that. But JB was a diehard NFL 2K fan. And because of that NFL licensing rule, it basically put an end to games like that. Who remembers NFL Game Day? Who remembers NFL Blitz? Who remembers NFL Fever? NFL Fever. Who remember those games? ESPN NFL 2K. We used to have so many different games in the NFL. It's like, you know what? Let's monopolize this. Let's just go ahead and get the license only to Madden, get rid of competition, because that's when I feel like Madden was at its best when it had to compete. Like it's like, nah, we don't want that. And so that to this day it irks JB that they did that. Let's see, it says JB, don't more players suffer injuries on artificial grass, turf versus real authentic grass. And so I feel like they do. Players feel like they do, so why not just go ahead and put the grass? At the very least, you're saving yourself from future lawsuits because you refuse to do that and stuff. So just go ahead, make it all grass, like if it's just go ahead. Each owner should take it upon themselves to do it. That's how you show the players, like, hey, we hear you, we care, and if you guys believe that's the case, fine. We'll go ahead and switch it. Let's see, Mike said the NFL should expand so games matter more, in my opinion. And so I'd like to see the NFL expand. I would. JB wants more games. I really want more games. This wouldn't have happened if he was trying to throw the ball to Courtland Sutton. That's all I'm going to say. It's a run play here for the Bengals. Picks up about 4 yards on the carry. Second down coming up. Mike says that's so greedy. And you say 2K5 was so lit. It really was. I still enjoy playing 2K5 to this day. I still update the rosters and I will play NFL 2K. Oh, look at that. Browning trying to show that he's got some wheels. I mean, maybe he doesn't have too much of a wheels there, but he got out there. He said, I'll do it myself. They don't. All they got to do is just copy, paste, update roster. Okay, there you go. Mike says, why don't Players Union make them get grass? That's a good question. I mean, honestly, there's only so much that I feel like they can fight for at a time because if they really stand firm on what they deserve or what they really want, then we're just going to end up having periods where the holdouts will last into the season. That's not really what we want, but I really don't know why before now that hasn't been the case. And we need to remove the franchise tags at this point. Get rid of. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What a sack! What a sack! Fourth down coming up. Oh my goodness! Dang, son, where'd you find that one? She said real grass obviously takes a lot more watching and upkeep maintenance. Hire some people to do it. There's a lot of people out there that'll work dirt cheap just to be able to work at a sports stadium. They got the money. See, Mike says so many cities you can put a franchise and thought on the Steelers versus Vikings. Honestly, this tells me that the Minnesota Vikings, they have a lot more questions than I initially thought coming into the season on that offense in terms of the quarterback position. The quarterback position is not stable. Now, I get it, McCarthy didn't play, but already people were wondering who should be the quarterback just off a couple games. And so, despite the fact that they got all those talented receivers, and we've seen a lot of teams light up the Steelers' defense, but honestly, I'm very concerned for Minnesota. I mean, didn't Kenneth Gainswell have 99 yards rushing against that Vikings defense? That right there was eye-opening to me. So the Vikings have some problems. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they are doing Steeler football. Win those close games. It's not going to be pretty. The other team is going to feel like they have a chance to win, but it just they find ways to win, which is the opposite of what Baltimore is doing. They're finding ways to lose. I was very upset with the Baltimore Ravens for letting the Chiefs do what they did to them. The Ravens right now have no backbone, and I don't understand it. They have the talent. They have the guys. I don't understand why the Ravens are struggling as bad as they are. Let's see, Mike said, what's the Steelers record? The Steelers right now, I think they only lost what, like one game this year? So I think they're like 3-1, if I'm not mistaken. Looking, come on. Oh, to him, Bo? I guess Bo don't know. Let me confirm that real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so the Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-1. They're 3-1. Up 2 flags here. Mike says, if you can pay quarterbacks $250 million, you can hire a guy to cut grass. That's a fact. Matter of fact, if you don't want to do that, make the guys on the practice squad do it. Make it as part of the practice squad if you got to. Do like they do in high school when they have the high school athletes go out there and help cut the field, if that's what you got to do. Make it do what it do. I'm with you there, Mike. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Looking, Bo throws it. Oh, he dropped the ball. Why are we not throwing the ball to Cortland Sutton is what JB needs to know. Because he said, JB, can you name all the players on my profile picture? Do you know Hawkeyes basketball players like? And so JB would not be able to, unfortunately. Not yet. You say Vikings should try to get Cousins back. Oh man, would that not be a Minnesota reunion? Would that not be a Minnesota reunion? 2nd and 10. Looking, throws it. Who's he throwing to? What's he doing? 3rd and 10 coming up. Let's see. Trade for McKee. Why not insert the kid from Minnesota that went to Minnesota College if they were going to switch it up at quarterback? But nah, they'll ride with Carson Wentz. Lefty, what's good? Lefty's like, what's going on? He's like, no, no, no. It's like, what are you guys talking about? What year is this? This is Bo Nick's 2nd year, Mike. Last year was his rookie season. So this is sophomore year here. 3rd and 10 for the Broncos. Throws it. It's the completion before the receiver gets laid out there. So now they got to hurry up there. 25 seconds. Why not call a timeout now? He says no. Says definitely no. Archie said, JB, LOL, at least you are being honest about it. And you say no. Let's see, Mike said he would probably never be an elite quarterback. Year 2. Yeah, it's definitely year 2. Definitely year 2. All right, so Lefty says Carson gets one more game, then JJ will be back. So absolutely, absolutely. Now, Lefty, talk to me because I've been hearing a couple of different things here coming out from Minnesota fans, and JB has to know, like, what's going on? Like, isn't it a bit early for some people to start turning on JJ McCarthy already? I get it if it wasn't the best couple games there, but he's still young. This is essentially what Minnesota agreed for when they let Sam Darnold walk out the door. They're basically saying, hey, we already drafted our guy. We believe in him. We want to see what he can do. So, but you inform JB. Inform JB. Let's see, Mike, there's a few playoffs probably. All right, gets to the back there. Got to get that first. All right, so Mike says JJ mid as heck. Lefty says, yeah, that's definitely the definitive after 2 games. Let's see, she says, because of Bo Nix, I'm going to call them the Denver Ducks. Don't do it. She said, UFL, Jalen Redmond, this is his 2nd year on the Vikings. He had 2 sacks yesterday. Oh, wow, that's nice. That's nice. All right, so here goes Nix. Throws it to the back, incomplete. Again, you had Cortland Sutton right there. I see Sam says he's going to go to the dentist October 2nd. Okay, nice, nice. Let's see. Letty says Vikings fans have a long history of being in love with the backup quarterback. They wanted to start Gino Terrata back in the 90s. Most fans are morons. I know you say you sat next to 50,000 of them every home game. And so, oh man, I do hear it a lot. I do hear it a lot. Now that I'm obviously tuning in, listening whenever Zoe goes live. I hear it a lot. If it's not that, it's KOC. It's everybody basically. Okay, good job getting it there to corner Sutton. Okay, that was a flag there. Come on, referee. Let it count, referee. Let the reception count. Mike says I want Panthers to trade for a quarterback. We're gonna decline that. 13 seconds before we reach halftime here. And JB's fantasy football team finally has taken the lead. Now with 13 seconds, starting to JB says, just throw one in the end zone according to Sutton. Let him be great. Let him be great. Let's see, Mike says, why don't the Bengals try to get a better backup? Is Andy Dalton still with the Panthers? Ooh, what a play! What a catch! Cortland Sutton doing it all today. Does it for the Broncos, does it for JB's fantasy football team. Let's go. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. You know I had to do it, Mike. You know I had to do it. Former Bengal coming back to the Bengals. It all comes full circle. You know I had to throw his name out there. He said Bryce is giving up. Bryce needs a change of scenery. Andy Dalton is worse than terrible. Let's see. I said JB is a miracle that the Bengals even have points on the board. I was like, wait, points? What? Oh man. Cortland's happy. JB's happy. Let's go. Simon says in a dentist's office in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And then you can visit your brother's grave there on the same day. Are you going to send him some flowers, Samuel? Get him some flowers? Man, Broncos are up 21-3 right now over the Cincinnati Bengals here in the second quarter with 8 seconds to go. So if you came here looking for a dog fight, you won't find it here, it looks like. But either way, we're having fun, and that's what matters. See, the Dolphins are still up 24-13. All right, so you will. What kind of flowers, Samuel? What kind of flowers do you like to get them? RC said, if you love beatdowns, you will definitely get that. Oh man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. My opponent has Jamar Chase, so all I need is to keep Chase out of the end zone and let my other players put in the work. Let them do what they do. Say, did I just see Sam Ellinger? Is Sam Ellinger on the Broncos? I did not know that. I did not know that. You don't know yet? Okay, okay, okay. Oh shoot, October 2nd's coming pretty fast, come to think of it. All right, so yeah, this is halftime. So in the second half, the Broncos will get the football first. You know that means they're going to come out there. They're going to be looking to run the ball second half a lot. You already know. And so Xander, what's good? What's good with you? How is your Monday going, Xander? And how are you? Percy said, I forgot to tell you, JB, Drew Alar is super duper weak sauce, overrated as fudge. I wouldn't draft him until NFL draft night, too much, less taking him number 2. You know, Drew will still get drafted no matter how bad he looks out there. Someone will draft him at some point. Now, when? I don't know when. But someone will draft them purely off of the measurables. Because I'm telling you, what's going to happen is everybody's going to forget how we feel right now, especially once Penn State goes out there, win a couple games against a team like Michigan State or Purdue, whoever they play that they can beat, and they go out there, he puts up a couple numbers in those games, and then once the combine comes through and they start talking about his measurables, they like some of the throws that he has, and then he plays, like what year is he? He's got to be eligible for the Senior Bowl, right? So he plays in that, and then like once they start talking about the measurables, that's what's going to hype him up, and they're going to talk about his potential. Teams love potential. They love potential so much. Think about Anthony Richardson being drafted by the Indianapolis Colts when they drafted him a couple of years ago. It was nothing to do with how he played at the University of Florida. Nothing to do with that. Because I watched Anthony Richardson versus Will Levis when Florida played Kentucky. I streamed that game, and I came away from that game saying, man, these two guys suck. They're big and strong, but they cannot throw the ball. And I was very advocate against Anthony Richardson. Then he went out there rookie year, looked like he put together a good year. If he could just stay healthy. And I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Come to find out, JB was actually right. He just got lucky that rookie year. So, but yeah, teams love to draft a guy based upon what they think he can become. And I understand it sometimes. I do understand it. They believe that they can coach the kid up to reach his full potential, but most of these players will not reach their potential. It's just how it is. Lainey said that she'll be back after halftime, Samuel. She had to charge her phone, so she should be there in the second half. And we got about 10 minutes before that second half gets started. So give JB 1 minute. JB will step away, and then I will be right back momentarily. So first he says, JB, if Daniel Jones keeps back throwing key interceptions, Richardson might be back again. I think Indianapolis is a good ways away right now from considering throwing Anthony Richardson in the game right now. I think they are pretty satisfied with what they've gotten so far this season from them. Again, just barely lost to the Rams, so it's going to take a lot to get Richardson back in there at this point. See, SM says, rush to the Bengals. All right, so we're gonna hustle Russell over to Cincinnati. I mean, hey, they need something. There's a lot of weapons, a lot of weapons. So, do I think that's gonna really help them? No, but hey, you never know. You never know. It's like just throwing a dart at this point, throwing a dart. Speaking of dart, how do you guys feel about Jackson Dart's performance in his first NFL start? Sims said he'd be back within a month. Yeah, I kept it close to a minute. I did. So she said, JB told me to play Cardi B over the intercom in the chat until he comes back. Right now, Cardi B outside is playing. JB did not give those instructions. And so JB is back. Let's see, Mike says, JB, there was a party and your mouth. He said, KFC 7 Hey, hey, your boy also, KFC. Today, we are the same, Mike. We are the same. As Xander says, Dolphins giving out belt to the Jets right now. Hey, your boy did pick the Dolphins to beat the Jets. I know a lot of people picked the Jets to win that one, but I thought about that matchup. It's in Miami. I know how Miami is in divisional games, especially against either the Jets or the Patriots there, especially when they're at home. And I was like, there's nothing special about the Jets, honestly, you know. So why not? Why not? But man, how about that? I just feel bad about Tyreek. I feel real bad about that for Tyreek. I wonder if that's the last that we've seen of Tyreek, at least in a Dolphins jersey. She said, JB, will that tie actually cost my Cowboys from getting into the playoffs? Someone told me yesterday, and I seen it floating around on YouTube. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, RC. I ain't got the Cowboys going nowhere this year. Nowhere. I mean, the Cowboys getting to the playoffs is like getting into an abandoned vehicle that has no gas, no engine, no tires, and expecting it to take you to another state. Now, that being said, if the Cowboys were to get a little hot, and things were to go their way, will this game cost them? I think absolutely. I think it would absolutely cost them the fact that this is a tie. Y'all needed for this to be a W, an actual W, like Jameis Winston does when he's chewing a W. Y'all needed this to be a W, not a tie. Because a tie is just like a loss at the end of the day. It's just like a loss. So that hurts. That hurts. Against a team of this quality, if y'all could have got a W, that would have been big time. Not just for record wise, but also confident wise. Some of that swagger that left the locker room might have returned. Now, I'm just looking at Green Bay like, hey, this is more of an indication of Green Bay being bad. I shouldn't say bad, or just inconsistent. He says JB loves the Colonel. Hey, what can I say? Nobody has supported him more than JB has, apparently. She said, JB, as many times as you go to KFC, you might as get the app. And so, hey, might as well, right? Might as well. It used to be Bojangles. When I first used to go live, it used to be Bojangles all the time. But man, Samuel says he lives KFC. I hear you, Samuel. Xander says, what happened to Tyreek? And so I heard, Xander, that Tyreek, because I saw he was carted off the field, but because I'm streaming this game, I didn't see it live. But Braden said that he bent his knee the wrong way. So he hurt his knee. He hurt, what was it? Was it a torn knee? Was that what it is? But he hurt his knee. So, yeah, that's terrible news there for Tyreek. As he said, I had White Castle earlier today, about 3 hours ago. Oh, man, RC, living your best life, ain't you? We got about another 4 minutes before the second half starts. Again, Broncos leading this one 21-3 right now. And you think about the AFC West as a whole, guys. I mean, think about Kansas City. They've won what, like 2 straight now. They just beat the Ravens decisively. So you know that the Chiefs are always going to be in that conversation. The Chargers are off to a great start. Yes, they lost to the Giants there, but they've won a couple of division games that matter. Broncos, they're right in the thick of things, and they're off to a good start here. So many things. So many things. She said, JB, I wish I was the referee yesterday. He said, I would have gave a fast count to get the clock with 7 or 8 seconds yesterday down to 0. I would have counted like 7-4-1 game. Could see you doing that, RC, and then running straight to the locker room, all kinds of boos and stuff. Everybody's confused. What's going on? I'm going to ask you guys this question before the second half gets started. You guys tell me for college football and for the NFL, in your opinion, who's the best fans and the worst fans for both college football and NFL? You can choose to answer only one, of course, but the best fans, who has the best fans and who has the worst fans? And try not to say your own team. Just leave your own team out of it. But let JB know, who do you think has the best fans and the worst fans at both the NFL level and college football level? Curious to see what everybody says. Mike says, shout out White Castles. So he's going to head over there tomorrow. Sanders says he might have blown out his knee. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible, man. All these good big time receivers and big time players are getting hurt. You know, that's very disappointing, because I was looking forward to guys like him, Malik Neighbors, obviously with his injury. It's just been tough this year. Let's see, Mike says, everyone asking why I did it. Why got coleslaw, my large mashed potato and gravy? I have the same thing, Mike. They ask you what you do and who you do it for. Mike said, it's because you like to party. Party, party, party. Samuel says he throws a party with his 40 subscribers, and he's got 10 videos of it. Over 2,000 views on his second channel. I see you climbing up that hill. Mike says the Bengals got to get a quarterback. Mike says that he personally would trade them Josh Allen if they need a quarterback that badly. He'll do it for Cincinnati. She said it's a game of inches, but apparently it's a game of seconds too. Yeah, I learned that last year against Oregon, the first time. Let's see, so RC says the Bears and the Bulldogs. Now, are you saying that those are the best or the worst? Just to clarify. Susanna says college's worst fans is Ohio State and best fans is Florida State. And so interesting about the Florida State one, because I've heard some people say that they hated Florida State fans. So interesting there. And Xander, are we really that bad? Or does it just come down to the fact that we're a rival? Are we really that bad? You might be right about that. I've seen some fans that are just outrageous. So she says, JB, I might mess around and stab Notre Dame in the back with the dagger. He said, that's my way of saying I got my eyes on another team. Just call me the mercenary fan. Mercenary fan, RC. Essen says, NFL worst fans is obvious. I don't even have to say it. Says he doesn't even got to say it, guys. It's obvious. Let's see, RC said, JB, I got 1,601. Oh, wow. RC, closer to 2K. Oh, man, what a milestone. Zoe, what's good? What's good? How are we? All right, gets him carried to the 30-yard line. And Zoe says, congratulations, my guy, RC. Yeah, RC, that's massive. Tell me this, RC. Tell me this. Has your father come around to you streaming all those WNBA games? Is he now more like in the supportive, like, okay, I see that it's getting a lot of views type of mindset? Or does he still want you to cover more of the men's game? I remember we had that conversation one time. She says, thanks, Zoe. My says Dolphins jersey stink today. Not a fan of their jersey. I'm there with you. But JB's more of a traditionalist, so that might be why. Quick pass, pop, cutting up field. All right, takes it to about the 38-yard line. Second down coming up here for the Broncos. And if you're the Broncos, you're up 21-3, but you got to keep your foot on the pedal. Plenty of time that's left here. And we've seen a couple teams give up leads that we thought were secure. So definitely got to stay focused. And Sean Payton knows it. All right, here we go. 2nd and 2. Again, opening drive of the third quarter. Broncos leading this one 21-3. Heavy formation. Gives it to Dobbins, and Dobbins just going to run his way up the middle. Easy first down. This is where the Bengals have got to have some kind of resolve because these guys are getting paid way too much money, some of these guys, for it to be just a like, oh, we're not even going to try anymore type of thing. Where she said the Bengals sleepy. Some says college worse, you'll say, is Texas. Texas. Xander says he hit 81 subscribers. Hey, that's what's up, Xander. So you're close to hitting that 100 mark, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. I see you. I see you. Soon I'm gonna come through and see that Xander's got 3,000. I can see it now. I'll have to come through quickly because I know once I come in on Xander's channel, he's gonna have them ready to attack JB in Ohio State. So it's got to be real quick. I already know. But nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And tell me, how does it feel to just see the progress happening in front of you? Because I remember once I got to that part where I was like, okay, I am actually not that far from 100. That's when the confidence starts to rise. Like, okay, if I just keep this up, it'll keep growing. And Bo Nix on another carry picks up about 2 yards on the play. And yeah, that's big. That's big. Mike says, let's see. Jaden about to be back. How good is Michael Penix Jr.? And so Jaden should be back. I think he should be back. I'd be surprised if he's not back this upcoming week. So I'm expecting him to be back. And how good is Michael Penix Jr.? That's the question. That's the question. I'm having some serious doubts myself right now, Mike. Like some serious doubts. Because when they need him to take over the game, does he have that ability? Oh, deep pass, incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. But does he have that ability, Mike? That's what I'm wondering. So to say how good is he right now, I'm gonna say not that great. I'm gonna say he can have some average games, but he's not gonna go out there and like have a 4 touchdown game right now and like no interceptions, throw for like 300 something yards. That's not gonna be him. He doesn't have to. John Robinson's gonna be there to aid him, but he has to make the throws when they need it. He's got to show that he can be clutch. If not, then he won't last very long. Right now, I'm leaning towards doubt. I'm showing some real doubt in Mike Penix Jr. right now. Meanwhile, for the Bengals on the return, goes at about the 30-yard line, and that's Charlie Jones, the former Iowa/Purdue product. Xander says you're shocked. Hey, you put in the work. You put in the work. Good things happen. So I'm happy for you, and it's only uphill from here. Remember that. It's only uphill from here. See how she says, my dad doesn't even care anymore. All he said was, there's football and baseball out here too. Well, I didn't start talking football for him though. I did it because I wanted to. And that's what's important. That's what's important right there, RC, is the fact that that's what you wanted to do. Because at the end of the day, you're dedicating your time and effort for it. And if you're not passionate for it, it won't come out the same. So it's very important to put out content that you feel passionate about. Because not only that, you're going to attract people that have the same interest as you. And then eventually the algorithm will figure out, like, okay, these are the type of people that we should send his way and stuff. But if you're posting content you're not passionate about, then, you're going to attract people that don't really align with, what you're passionate about. So absolutely. He said, but long story short, JB, just as well, he still believes basketball should not exist because they don't play an exciting brand of anything. Oh man, harsh judgment there. See, Samuel says at 88 subscribers now. So Samuel getting close to that 100 mark. Okay, absolutely, absolutely. SM says actually, I'm gonna change my NFL worse. I was alluding to Philly, but I'm gonna go with Detroit. Ooh, you're gonna go with Detroit. Talk to me now. Detroit fans have been through it all. They have been through it all. So I'm curious. What have the Detroit fans done to deserve being labeled the worst? I've heard some things about Philly fans. They call it the city of brotherly love, but it doesn't go for other fans apparently. I am curious. And as Samuel said, his channel's name's right there in the chat for anyone that's interested. If not already subscribed. Mike says, dang, Jets think, is this the first time? Do Jets usually win? Well, the Jets do not usually win. I do feel like Miami beats the Jets lately more time than the Jets beat them. But it really just depends on if they're like which team is having a better year. But I've seen them go back and forth there. Those two are usually competitive. You can usually count that maybe they might split, usually. But whenever the Jets and Dolphins play, I tend to favor the team that's at home. That's usually an indication of who is probably going to win when those two teams play. And if it's a primetime matchup, then I'm definitely leaning towards the Dolphins. If it's earlier in the daytime, leaning towards the Jets. For some reason, and I feel like it makes a difference when these two teams play each other. But hey, JB got it right. JB picked the Dolphins. Well, JB think he has it right. I see that the Jets scored a touchdown to Garrett Wilson. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll find out. 2nd and 7 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Run play here. P. Ryan going to pick up some yards here. Up the middle. 11:45 to go here in the third. And Laney's back. Welcome back, Laney. Let's see, Mike says maybe, JB. Maybe. And so maybe. You say Dart and that confidence, you can't beat that for anything. I like the fact that they're letting him use his legs early, you know, especially against a team of the Chargers. Let him use his legs. So if there's any doubt, any confusion, tuck it, run, protect yourself, but just go ahead, tuck it and run if there's any doubt. Otherwise, make the play. But I saw a lot of good things there. Just sad we're not going to be able to see him and Malik Neighbors build chemistry. What's he doing? My goodness. What's the offensive line doing? You know, maybe Joe Burrow should go to the front office and say, hey, reduce my salary in half and let's spend that money to get some guys up front because I need it bad. But man, look at this. Let's see. All right, so he got beat. He got beat. He got beat. Everybody got beat except for the left guard. See, Mike says, RC, go easy on the old man. So let's see, 4th and 2. They're going to punt the ball. Hunter punts it once again. RC said, JB, the Iowa fans, show me love in smaller increments, but I am not that bothered. And so, hey, you're right now trying to accomplish something that very few have attempted to accomplish. So you follow your path through and through. You know, it will continue to grow. You're already seeing the results as it is. So you just keep doing what you're doing. You'll evolve. All that great stuff. They're gonna be crossing 90 subscribers soon, and you gotta let JB know once you do it. You gotta let JB know because you're very close. First, he said Jackson Darts to the top of the leaderboard. So there's a penalty there. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Achon got over 100 yards rushing. I wouldn't be mad at all. In fact, I said let him get 100 yards rushing. Let's see. Mike says I saw the best onside kick ever. Panthers versus Cardinals. They still blew it, but it was awesome. Oh wow. Ransom says Jets fired everyone and still suck. I thought that the head coach Aaron Glenn said that they're not the same old Jets. Well, they look at me. You know what? They're worse. They're worse than the old Jets. I'll say that. Let's see. Mike says shout out to RC. RC says Daniel Jones doing too much is still a recipe for disaster. RC said, look, you're not going to fool him. Says you can dress up what you want like you're that person. He says at the end of the day, that clock's still going to hit midnight at some point, and he's going to return to the old Daniel Jones. And so RC says he's going to stay clear of that. He said the New York Rex live forever. And in front, hey, that's it. You're serious. I mean, like, that's the truth. That is the truth. It's the truth. That's a fact. See, Sammy says, "Hey JB, oh no self-driving cleaning robot at the Walmart store." But man, they're taking over there, Sammy. I know you mentioned that before, so they're taking over. Oh man, don't let JB see it. Might have to put on some shoulder pads and just run through it. Gotta save people jobs here. Marcy said it's like a gorilla in a Beyonce rig and calling it sexy. JB, that's Daniel Jones with the coats. JB wants no part of that. No part of that. Oh man, JB's fantasy football team is looking really good right now. That makes JB extremely happy. I'm just saying, Mike. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. Mike says coach of the Dolphins is a mess. What happened, Mike? That game's still going on or what? Oh, time for JB to check and see what is going on. All right, Broncos. They want to, first and foremost, they want to score, but they want to take off a little bit of time in the process as well, is what their goal is on this drive. So expect to see a lot of running. I mean, a lot. He's to the back here in the back. Look at him. JK doing work. Second and one. He says he just looks all unkempt. Is that how they talk about JB, Mike? Behind the scenes, they're strict to say things. I feel like they'll say the same thing about JB right now. All right, second and one. Two receivers top of the screen here. Two tight ends on the formation. One back in the backfield. Receiver goes in motion here. Gonna feed to the back here, and J.K. Dobbins again on the carry. He's up about 6 yards on the ground. A freshman set of downs to work with. 10:05 left to go here in the third quarter. Playing again. This is the style of football that the Broncos love to do. Meanwhile, it is final. The Miami Dolphins have beaten the Jets 27-21. The Jets fall to 0-4. That makes JB happy, right? Because JB despises the Jets. So therefore, JB is happy about that. Dolphins get their first win of the season, but they lost Tyreek Hill in the process. What a price to pay. All right, Broncos from their own 30-yard line. Bo looking. Bo throws it. Bo incomplete. Or she said, JV was a setup. Both games suck in the NFL tonight. They knew that they'd suck too. They knew it. They knew it, but they still wanted JB to stream it. They knew it. Or she said, Dolphins coach Napoleon Dynamite. Let's see, Mike says, Dolphins coach Finsky won, finally won one. Finally won one. Yes, he did. It would be the most hilarious thing if after the win, they're like, congratulations, but you're still no longer the coach. That would be hilarious. Let's see, Mike's about to be two when they play on the Panthers. Ooh, they play the Panthers next. Ooh, I got to think about that one. Think I got to think about that one a lot, actually. I think Carolina probably can do it. Where's that game going to be played at? Is it going to be played in Carolina or is it going to be played in Miami? Second and 10. Looking, throws it, gets it to the back of the backfield in the back, shaking and baking and gets the first down. Picks up about 15 yards there on the catch. Yes, he makes us good to see you streaming over JB. And so, oh yeah, JB actually had more energy today, so that did help. After work, I had more energy, although my voice has been going in and out. But aside from that, I'm happy to be here as well. Ready we go, first and 10. for the Broncos, 44-yard line. Dobbins in the backfield. Gives it to him off the left side, trying to find some room. Fighting forward, just fighting forward all the way to about midfield. But there is a penalty. Right now, the Broncos offensive line, they are having their way right now. I feel like the Bengals are just lining up in front of them. It's a formality at this point. A formality. Saved by the Panthers. Archie says Dolphins won. Ooh, gross. Let's see. You say Panthers got more receiver injuries, as if they could afford to have any receiving injuries at all. Sammy says today morning wake up at 5:54 a.m. That's about 54 minutes after JB. When you say you're tired, yeah, JB understands that. But you know what? We're in the third quarter. There's 8 minutes and 28 seconds left to go. In the third quarter, Broncos up 21-3. We know the Broncos, all they care about is running the clock, getting first downs, and then scoring. That's what they want. Bengals, they're tired. They just want this game to be over. They want the season to be over, if you're being honest. Go to the back of the backfield again. J.K. Dobbins doing all the work. They are working these running backs in this one. So third quarter, 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Let's see, Mike says Bryce will be okay on some team, probably never a starter. So tell me this, Mike. If Bryce Young sent to the Minnesota Vikings, given all the talent the Vikings have at the wide receiver position, do you think that that would really help Bryce Young to where he can go in there and look good, kind of like what happened with Sam Darnold? Do you think he could have that type of effect, Mike? Or do you think if he was even with a team like the Minnesota Vikings, it still would do no good? He just is not him. Which one is your truth, Mike? So she said, JB, what do you think about the Bears versus Raiders game outcome? The Bears versus Raiders outcome feels like, honestly, it feels like that's Bears football. That's the Bears finding themselves. They are finding themselves while also still playing true to their identity of what Bears football is. Bears football is not sexy finesse football. It's go out there, make plays, fight, they're going to throw some punches. They're going to take some punches, but find a way to win a scrappy game. And that's what they did. You know, everything from how they blocked the Raiders kick and stuff to just all the things that they did in that game. That's Bears football and they're playing the way that they want to play. So what did I think about that game? I thought it was telling that the Bears they're going to be one of those middle of the road type teams there. There is a path for them, but it's going to be really tough to make the playoffs. But ultimately, the Bears, they're trending in the right direction. As for the Raiders, honestly, they're going to be the last place team in the division. That's just how it's going to be. I kind of knew that coming into the season. That kind of confirmed it. But I did see some good things for them as well. Ashton Genty, I was happy to see that he's going back to the basics of what he's good at. I saw some good things from him. But Gino just, I don't know, at times Gino's just letting me down. I thought Gino would be doing a little bit better. But yeah, that's my thoughts about that one there. Bears playing their brand of football. See, Mike says that's a great question. Sam says, stuck for the dentist's office. You were stuck in the dentist's office since 5:54 a.m. this morning, Samuel? You must be have the dentist that I had that had JB waiting for 6 hours before they finished. You talk about JB was hot, upset, mad, 6 hours just sitting there. See, Mike says Bryce looked like he had matured late last year, but he regressed and is playing with less and less confidence each game. And so that is true. That is indeed true. But I feel like if he had a system to where he got the sat, on the bench for the Minnesota Vikings for maybe a full year, and then the next year you inserted him into the lineup, I feel like you would see the best of him because the kid was smart in college. He made tough plays, but he had great receivers. Look at Carolina, their weapons. I mean, yes, they drafted Ted, which was a good move by them. They absolutely had to do it. But I'm not exactly in love with Xavier Leggett. I'm not, and then who's gonna throw the ball to Hunter Renfro? We're gonna throw it to him. So I'm not necessarily in love with the weapons that they have. Tommy Tremble doesn't make me tremble at all, you know, at all. I'm just saying, from the tight end spot. So I get it, but at the same time, that team is not built to be a team that's going to score 30 plus points. They're built to be a team that runs the ball, makes a couple passes there, keeps it close, then late in the game, do whatever it takes to get yourself in a position to try to win the ball game, assuming that you can keep the other team offense from knocking it out of hand. But a different scenario, like not even if it's not the Vikings, let's say it's the Rams. If he went to the Rams, I think he can have some success there. I think he's a smart kid. He can learn a good system, but he needs a good system and to sit for a full year just to watch and forget everything he learned in Carolina, then relearn, moving forward. First he says, Geno Akili Smith, don't do it to him. As he said, JB, they got lucky by blocking a field goal. Well, I mean, luck happens when you put yourself in a position to where luck can take effect. If you block that field goal, but you're down 40 points, it doesn't matter. You still got to be in that position to get lucky because football is sometimes about luck. Whether it's the referee throwing a flag or maybe he doesn't throw a flag, he misses the flag. Football has a lot to do with luck. That's just how it is. A nice completion there for the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, 6:08 left to go here in the third quarter. And so Sam is laughing about that one. As he Mike says, Mahomes got Worthy back and all is well. Wait till he gets Rice back, Mike. Wait till Rice comes back. So, oh man. That's why JB is not bashed the Kansas City Chiefs because I already know what's coming. I'm tired of eating humble pie. I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to do that. First and 10. Throws it. Gets the completion there to Chase. Chase body language is just like all over the place. For a guy that got paid, I don't care how bad the game's going. I don't want to see a guy that's getting paid as much money as he's getting paid out there acting like that. Like, nah, I get it. You may be upset, but hey, you're getting paid a lot of money. And maybe we wouldn't be getting beat like this if you wasn't getting paid that. So you got one for Thursday afternoon during that time? Okay, Samuel, bet. Mike says, I would not say he's a bust, but he is done in Carolina. Yeah, I do feel like Carolina's not the answer, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because Saquon had to leave the Giants to be the Saquon that we all know today. He had to leave the Giants. We knew he had that potential. He had to leave. Daniel Jones, we're still watching to see how that plays out. But he had to leave the Giants to just be in a better situation. Sam Darnold, he had to leave those pesky Jets. He had to leave Carolina as well, just to end up in a situation to where now he's in a better environment and doing much better. So sometimes, yes, he may have to leave in order to reach the point to where he is decent. And there's nothing wrong with that. Football is all about being in the right situation. Think about a guy like David Carr. To this day, I'm convinced David Carr was terrible because he got drafted by the Houston Texans. If he doesn't get drafted by the Houston Texans, he's in a way better situation. So sometimes it's bad luck just going to a team that was that bad before you and they're that bad after you. That's just how it is. And so Ansem says, JB, who is your most disappointing team so far? My most disappointing team so far. Let JB take a second here and remind myself by looking at the NFL standings real quick before I answer that. Meanwhile, oh my goodness, Jake Browning, just stay down. Just stay down. It's not worth it. Just stay down. JB wants to think about this one for a second here and see. Honestly, honestly, without even looking at the whole thing, let me see if just to make sure. Okay, yeah. My most disappointing team so far is the Baltimore Ravens because I sat here and I said, well, actually, I said I had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl in the AFC, but the Ravens would have been my next choice. And I figured if not now, then when. So I just don't know what they got going on, but they are 1-3 and they look terrible. especially on defense. All that money spent, but what is it good for? Guys just out here collecting checks, just robbing Baltimore like that, not doing anything. So for me, my most disappointing team so far at this point is the 1-3 Baltimore Ravens. You heard me right, guys. 1-3. Who would have thought the Ravens would be 1-3 at this point in the season? It is clearly the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I could have said Houston, really could have. They're 1-3 also, but I expect more from Baltimore. I know Houston had an offensive problem. I knew that, but Baltimore 1-3 is them. See, meanwhile, Browning looking. Browning says, I got to get out of this pocket. He says, I got to get out of here. He just throws it away. Okay, at this point, who's the backup quarterback? Who's the backup to this backup quarterback? Who's the next guy up? We might have to put him in because there's a real serious problem right now in Cincinnati. I take back what I said earlier about not acquiring a quarterback. If you got to go out there and get a Russell Wilson or a Jameis Winston, what I mean, preferably someone cheaper there. I want to see Jameis Winston with these boys here because I know Jameis will throw it up there. Russ, he'll do that funny stuff on fourth down where he just throws it away and stuff like that. I'm done with Russ. I'm personally tired of seeing Russell Wilson personally. I'd like to see a guy like Jameis Winston come in there and let's just let him have fun. Let him have fun. Just throw it to these weapons. You know he will. Let's see. Mike says Carolina may be the worst ran organization in football. Worse than the Jets, Mike. Worse than the Jets. Worse than the Jets and the Browns. I mean, they're certainly amongst the worst for sure, but worse than the Jets. Let's see. She said, JB, so it's got a lot to do with Andrew Luck, huh? Anything but that, man. Anything but that. I don't know what Andrew Luck is doing right now in Stanford, but he needs to get far away from that program. Stanford is I hate to see a team just wither away. You know, Stanford, I used to have such respect for Stanford. That's the college where, Christian McCaffrey went at. Not only that, Barry Sanders' son, he went there as well. Obviously Andrew Luck played there. They had a couple guys at one point that was a team that would always win about 8 to 9 games, somewhere around that range per year. But they have fallen off the map. Watching what has happened to them and what has happened to the Wisconsin Badgers, especially the Wisconsin Badgers, that makes me very sad there. I liked it when Wisconsin was amongst the best in the Big Ten, probably because my team would always beat them, and they would always be up there. But still, it was always good to see Wisconsin up there. So I hope that they can find a way to return to at least being a 8, 9, 10 win team, honestly. You say the dentist office shots hurt. And so, hey, just remember it's only temporary and it's going to help you out in the long run. But JB understands that. Let's see, Mike says Ward was mad and said the entire team was asked. Then he dropped the F word at the press conference. He was mad. They got owned. I'm going to say this about Cam Ward. I can appreciate the fact that he's keeping it, as he says, a buck. His team is terrible. When I say terrible, I mean terrible. You look at those receivers, other than Calvin Ridley, there's not a single receiver I would want to throw the ball to. His team is terrible. This line is terrible. Terrible. Let's get that out there. The running backs they have are not designed to be like the kind of running backs that you hand the ball off to 20 times and stuff like that. They're meant to be running backs that you throw it a bunch, you dump it to them, let them get about 64 yards on the ground, another 30 through the air or something like that. That's the type they're built for. They're not built to try to be bell cows, but he's got a mess. And it's not his fault. He was drafted into this team here, but I see him, his guys make a mistake during the field. He may show bad, like temper in the press conference, but during the game, he's still talking to his guys, still being a leader and stuff. And I like that about Cam Ward. I just hate the situation he's in because Tennessee was bad, really bad. Like I didn't realize Tennessee had gotten that bad. I'm looking at Tyler Lockett. I'm like, bruh, you're robbing these guys. They paying you how much and you doing what? Like, it's bad. Tennessee has a terrible roster. Terrible roster. Oh man, look at Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going at it. I like it because of my fantasy football team. Take him out the game, coach. Let him sit down. Let him sit down. He said that Sam Darnold will never be a top 10. His arm is weak. And you know what? I think the Seahawks know that. That's why they drafted Jalen Milrow. That's exactly why they drafted Jalen Milrow, because he's got an arm. And that's why they kept Drew Lock, because they don't want him on the field this year, nor should they want him next year. This is a 3-year project with Jalen Milrow. And you hope that in 3 years he develops so that way when you call his number, you can at least see enough for him to be a backup and get into a game and then show you, like, okay, he can take us to that next level. That's what they're hoping. Again, hoping they didn't draft them in the first round, so they didn't lock themselves to it. But that's what they're hoping, that in 3 years, that Jalen Milrow can be that guy because he's got the speed. Quick pass, caught by the receiver, and the receiver picks up the first down there for the Denver Broncos. Oh man. You know what? Cincinnati has become that team. They're like that kid that, back in, like, let's just say early 2000s, late 90s, that kid that keeps getting in trouble and his parents just keep taking that belt to the behind. And that's what's happening to Cincinnati week after week after week, is that right now they're getting belt after belt after belt. They're getting the belt, they're getting the stick. They got to go out there and pick their own stick right now off the tree at this point. This is this is bad. This is bad for Cincinnati. They should never be on another primetime game for the rest of the year. They don't deserve it. J.K. Dobbins again on the carry. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mercy said, JB, just how bad are the Titans? Are they most horrendous team in all the NFL? I'm gonna put it this way, RC. I'm gonna put it this way. When I think of the worst, the Browns got problems, but the Browns would probably beat the Titans because, quite frankly, Browns got a good defense, and they've shown that they can be a team like Green Bay. The Jets, as much as I give them a hard time, they did compete with the Steelers and stuff. But Tennessee, they'll fight hard occasionally. Other other players are saying that the Titans are not even competing. Michael Pittman Jr. said that he thought the Titans were not even trying out there. Like, it's bad. It's really bad right now. Like, that coach has to be fired at the end of the year. I'm not going to say now, but at the end of the year, that's at least a conversation worth having because this team is trending in the wrong direction. And how can you go from first overall pick to, like, you know, even worse than that? But guys start quitting. That's how. So it's terrible. It's terrible. You want no part of what Tennessee's got going on. I don't think it's Cam Ward's fault. So RC says, JB, so Jay Clowning should snap the ball from the ground going forward. Whatever it takes, RC. Whatever it takes. Mike says, I don't get the Ravens. I just know I don't want the Bills to face them. Right, 2nd and 10. Play fake. It's gotten to the point where all he does is just look at the running back immediately to play fake. Doesn't even look at the receivers. So you say the Commanders are your most disappointing team? I mean, I cut them some slack. They're 2-2 right now, so it's not like they're below 500. They're 2-2, and quite frankly, JB's going to keep it a buck with you. JB was very cautious when it came to fantasy football about drafting Jaden Daniels. I only drafted him in one league, but it's something about that sophomore slump that is so real. When you have such an unreal rookie season, you're going to come down to earth your sophomore year. It is going to happen. And that's, it could be a little bit of that. Commanders don't really have an established running back either. They traded away, Brian Robinson. So they're going running back by committee. It doesn't help that Daniels has been hurt on and off. You have Marcus Mariota out there against the Falcons, and you still only lost 34-27 with Marcus Mariota. So 2-2, I get it. Injuries happen. I'm going to hold off on the Commanders for now. Say they seriously have a problem there, and Browning stinks, and that Russ is washed. That is a fact. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Well, let's see. Who's someone else that they might can reach out to for a quarterback? I mean, why not reach out for a guy like, I don't know, Josh Dobbs, perhaps? He's a guy that's been on the move many times. Maybe reach out to him. I mean, there's some options if they really want to look. There's some options. She said, "JB, what if the Bengals' backup quarterback was Piggy Knuckles? Would you still put him in the game?" No, RC, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I would do it. They once played a guy named Tyler Thigpen in the NFL, so why not? It's pretty close enough. Diggy, Thigpen, close enough. Mike says, Justin Browns are a joke. You said Ward is not in a good situation. The Titans stink. They do. They do stink. Terrible situation. Mike says, reroute Stallions, great 92. Tillman on Broncos. He said Rattler gave the Bills a good fight. He gave all he could give. And what really pissed me off is the fact that Alvin Kamara just became a backseat to Kendrick Miller in that game. And I'm just like, why? Why hurt my fantasy team? SM says, why did they get rid of Vrabel? But I'm gonna tell you why, SM. Sometimes, sometimes people get like, how can I put it? They start getting antsy when they don't see you going out there and winning, and they see other teams out there with elite coaches. Mike Vrabel, he will never be a top 5 coach. That's just not who he is. But he is someone that he can hold the culture, and that's what he had down there in Tennessee. There were plenty of times where I saw that Tennessee team overachieve when he was there, and then they end up in the playoffs, and I'm like, wow, Derrick Henry them in the playoffs, got a home game. Heck, they were the last team to beat, Tom Brady and the Patriots. Tom Brady's last game as a Patriot. But quite frankly, the fans want something new. They always want something new. Everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side, or they feel like if things become stagnant, you've got to mix it up. The Titans have made various mistakes over the years, which is why they are where they are right now. Before Mike Vrabel, it was A.J. Brown. They traded him away and drafted Trey Burks. I'm sorry, Trey Burks. Terrible decision. Terrible decision. No offense against the kid, but the kid is terrible. And that's why he's no longer there. Stayed injured when he did play. You wouldn't have known he was playing. I mean, he's probably worse than what's that guy, Jalen Polk that New England got rid of. They about on the same level, honestly. I remember they said my man had to bust out the inhaler after his first practice with the Tennessee Titans after running a couple of routes. And I was like, dang, did he not run routes with the Razorbacks? What was going on? Joe Flacco is the quarterback for the Browns, Mike. He is currently quarterback number 1 for them. Oh, deep pass. Has my guy. No, that's not my guy. It's all right if he drops that one. That's fine. You keep throwing to other receivers, you get exactly what you deserve. So he said, well said, JB. Completely agree. They got to regret firing him. And so, yeah, we see it all the time, especially in college football. You see it a lot too. A program gets used to winning 9 games, 8 games in a season, and they're like, we've got a good team. Maybe another coach can help us, go over the top. When really the reality is the coach is giving you everything that you can with the current roster. It's not the coach problem, it's the GM. If you get them better players, you get better results. The problem is that Tennessee never got their franchise quarterback while Mike Vrabel was there, especially when they had A.J. Brown. Had they had their franchise quarterback, things could have been different. Things could have been entirely different for that organization. But they failed to realize. You had a guy like what? Ryan Tannehill was quarterbacking for the longest, the Tennessee Titans. Like they just put some bodies back there, man. Some bodies, to be honest. Let's see. Mike says, move on from Flacco or still early. Right now, the Browns are not going to do it because they're competitive in games. They're competitive right now, so they're not going to do it. But probably once you get past the halfway mark, especially if the Browns keep accumulating L's, then at some point where it's like, okay, we've lost our 6th game. It's time to go ahead and see what Dylan Gabriel can do because he will be the next quarterback. And they're going to do their best to make sure that Dylan Gabriel works, which he won't work. But they will try their best to give him every opportunity. And in the final 2 games of the season, when nobody's buying tickets, they'll be forced to put in Shador the final 2 games of the season. That's how I see this playing out. And then next year it's just completely just scrap everything and go from there. Broncos punt the ball. Right, caught by the Bengals from their own 16-yard line. Let's see. See team here. Still got a couple minutes left in this one, obviously. Did I get my tickets to Springstead? And so I did not. I did not. I did not realize that already. Bo Nix is over 300 yards passing already in this one. Did not realize that. Let's see. Over there snitching. Says, yeah, JB, did you? Oh, man. You guys are hilarious. Let's see, I haven't even checked my weekly pick'ems to see am I still in first place so far. My NFL picks this year have been good. I mean, they were good last year too, but I've got a little bit of separation from old man so far. Looking forward to that. CRC says, I was born in the USA. JB, that's a great song. Absolutely. AG, what's good? What's good? I can hear the announcer now saying AG drops back the pass and AG to JB for the touchdown. How about that? But AG, what's good? JB's in a great mood. It's looking real good for my fantasy team. As long as Jamar Chase doesn't have some type of big reception for a touchdown, JB's feeling pretty confident now. Sean did what I needed from him. So the Bengals from their own 16-yard line right now. Chase at the bottom of the screen. Looking, throws to the back. All right, gets the first down. Like I said, JB, you ever bring a cow into the barbershop? JB has never done that, Mike. Never. SM said, JB, I had the Jaguars as one of my surprise teams. They're 3-1. Do you think they keep it up? Honestly, SM, it feels like it's going to come down to the Jags and the coach. As of right now, I know it's early, but I do like what they're doing. The fact that they have found a way to revive Travis Etienne. Like they kept believing in him. It's paying off there. They've got some young pieces there, and they're fighting hard. So I like what I'm seeing from them. Can they keep it up? I can see them getting to like a 9 wins, 9, maybe even 10, 9 or 10. I can see that being possible. So can they keep it up? I'm going to say yes, it is possible. I really want to see when the Jaguars play the Colts because if the Jaguars can steal one or maybe even two, but if they can especially steal one, that'll be big for them. Now we can start thinking division if that's the case. Because the Colts look real good so far. Let's see, second and 10, the Cincinnati Bengals here. 12:05 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Looking. Oh, brought down. How open do you need your receivers to be? Like, what shade of green is he waiting on? He's that guy that looks at a green light at the light signal and does not press the accelerator, and cars behind him are just blowing a horn. What is he waiting on? Let's see, he says, looking like a fantasy W as long as T. Higgins doesn't get 12 more points. Hey, basically what you just said, except for Jamar Chase for me. I can't have him getting 13 more points. But let's basically just go ahead and say 12. Can't have him getting 12 because then I'll end up in a tie, and JB doesn't do ties. I had one tie in fantasy last year. Absolutely hated it. 3rd and 16 on the move, looking behind P. Ryan. And P. Ryan's like, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Incomplete. Incomplete. Wow. Broncos are loving it, though. They are loving it. Where she said, JB, what does a pig do when it's feeling aches and pains? What does it do, RC? Let's see, Mike says, they did it on that Chick-fil-A commercial, JB. And so he said, Chicken Little are fire. You say super sack. Super sack. Well, he came in there, almost blocked that one. And the ball's rolling to the 17, 20. Brought that the 24-yard line. RC, not the ointment. Not the ointment. Oh, no. See, Mike says, Browning, you go talk to Bryce, figure out who gave up the most. Oh, man. But then they'll give up mid-conversation, Mike, so they'll never figure it out. Send Russell Wilson to the Carolina Panthers. Send him there. Send him to a team that I don't too much care about seeing. Send him there. You can send him there. You can send him to the Saints. You can send him just about anywhere. But yeah, send him one of those two teams, Panthers or the Saints. All right, let's see. Since no more Bojangles games, it's the KFC game. So the KFC game, I like that. The Colonel will be happy. Mike says, no thanks, JB with Russ. I'm just waiting for him to be in the Panthers jersey, talking about let's pounce or something like that. Like, you know he will. She said, last one, JB, why did the chef die? Oh, man. What was it? Says, he pasta away when he ran out. RC, where do you get this material from, RC? Who's giving you the playbook? He's going to be like, keep pounding. Let's pounce. It's got to be like that. At the beginning of the game, it's going to be like, let's pounce. At the end of the game, it's going to be like, let's bounce. We got bounce. I think this is the final game of week 4 of the NFL season, guys. Week 5 will be next up. Some of the games, I know Thursday night football is the 49ers and Rams. And again, my next live stream is going to be Wednesday, my regular Wednesday talk show with me, Zoe. Hopefully, Old Man can join us this time. I know last time Old Man had to pick up an extra work shift. That's why he wasn't able to join us that time. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us. But yeah, Wednesday will be the next live stream. And that will be, what is it, 7:30? Do we normally start 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Central time. 1st and 10. Run play here by the Broncos and J.K. Dobbins out here making somebody's fantasy football dreams become a reality and somebody else's a nightmare. Proceed. Simon says, what is 2 Bojangles for chicken? So, I mean, if you haven't had Bojangles chicken, Samuel, you're missing out. You're missing out. JB hasn't had Bojangles in a minute, though. A hot minute. Mike says, Bronco Stadium look okay. Why new one coming? That's a good question, Mike. That's a good one. I mean, personally like the stadium. I don't too much, like playing down there because my team struggles down there, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be more team friendly to my Patriots, I guess. I'm still mad that the Patriots allowed Aaron Rodgers to beat New England for the first time in his career, um, like down there in New England. That made me mad. We could have won that game against the Steelers. But yeah, Chase is just not happy. All right, so 2nd and 4. J.K. Dobbins in the backfield still. Another run play and picks up about 2 yards there on the carry. So 3rd down coming up. 9 minutes and 38 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter play. Right now, Bengals have to do some soul searching during this game, after the game, whatever it is. They got to get rid of this bad mojo because it is taking them out. Because they are getting beat up like Mojo Jojo out there, and that is not a good thing. So they've got to figure this out. All right, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back, 3rd and 1. Broncos going to bootleg, throws it, gets it to the receiver, and the receiver is going to pick up the 1st down there. But of course, it won't be JB's receiver, of course, but Marvin Mims Jr. Mike says, put in Brett Ripien. If you're going to put in Brett, the vet, then put in the backup receivers as well. Just take Chase out the game. Do it for JB's sake. JB fought hard for this week in fantasy football. I deserve the W. I had no idea I was still out here balling. Dobbins fighting for it, picks up a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards. So let's see. I'm looking at my fantasy football league to see if there's any interesting matchups still taking place. I guess Black Medicine's team, yeah, Black Medicine's team needs T. Higgins to go out there and do something, but it may be too little too late, honestly, for that. 2nd and 9. Gives it to Dobbins, and Dobbins fighting forward, gets that 1st down just like that. My goodness, the Bengals don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want it. You put a team like this on national TV, force us to watch it because ain't nobody was going to sign up for Dolphins and Jets. That just was not going to happen. But they put up this kind of effort. They're embarrassing. They're an embarrassment. Messi Samuel says, you think yummy chicken at Bojangles? Oh, yeah, Samuel, check it out. Matter of fact, that'd make a good video for you to test out that food there and let us know your thoughts. That'd be a good video. Let's see, SM says, JB, who is your front runners for offensive rookie of the year? And so, well, as of right now, if we had to go offensive rookie, oh my goodness, Dobbins, somebody stop this man, please. I mean, if we had to go right now, offensive rookie of the year, off the top of my head, let's see. If we had to go offensive rookie of the year right now, trying to think here. Because so far, Ashton Genty hasn't done anything really too much. Ted McMillan, I don't know statistically how has he been looking so far this year, Ted McMillan, but I would consider going with Ted McMillan. Tyler Warren has had moments there, but it's not like overly. It's not like Brock Bauer types of games here. So I guess Ted McMillan. I'm guessing. I haven't paid too much attention to the other rookies, honestly, and it's a little too early for me to say Jackson Dart. So yeah, that was a good question. Though. That was a good question. So Ted McMillan may be up there. I got to double check the stats on that one though. Some said you don't want to see Brett Ripien. Trust me. Yeah, you don't want to see that. Come on, just throw the ball. Just throw the ball up to the corner, son. I know you're winning by a lot. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. See, Mike says he looked at the pad, JB. Chase open, T open, and I think, good iPad session. Exactly, exactly. He probably doesn't even see him on the iPad right now. I said, if anyone bad year, I will force them to have to go to Hardee's. Not Hardee's. 3rd and 5. Looks like they're gonna at least look like they're gonna. So they may not pass it, but let's see. Throws it to the back. field there. Oh man, easy, easy touchdown. Could have just as easy have gotten it to my guy Cortland Sutton, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop complaining. I'll take my W. Sammy says, Bills new stadium final in 2026 for 2027. Or if next year, Samuel. And so, oh man, I've got to take a look at that new stadium. I've got to take a look at that new stadium. As some said, the Bengals look like they quit. They did. They did quit. That's one of the worst things that can happen to a coach. That's one of the quickest ways to get a coach fired. Have your team quit on you. And it's very evident. All that money that the Bengals are paying, and the Bengals, they don't like spending money. They're kind of cheap, to be honest, and stuff like that. But all that money that they dished out, and this is the effort that they're getting from players. Like, really? Like, everybody wanted to hold out. Everybody wanted a new contract. And look at this. It's open soccer field, just what we needed. Some said they have to make a move for a quarterback. Give me about, give me about two options in terms of realistic. Let's be realistic now. Two options outside of Russell Wilson here that you think will probably be worth making a call for right now if you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you just want to pick up a quarterback that you can just go ahead, have him come in, throw him in there, see what he can do. Preferably a guy with some upside. Really wouldn't cost you too much. I mentioned Josh Dobbs as a possibility earlier. Let's see. I mean, at this point, it's pretty bad. It's pretty. All right, so Mike's going to take the first crack here. Aiden O'Connell. You know what? I liked Aiden O'Connell. I did, even though I knew he would never achieve great things at the NFL level. But I liked him back at Purdue. I liked what he was doing with the Raiders in terms of just getting the ball out. So I like that. Aiden O'Connell, certainly an option. Where's Gardner Minshew at right now? Where is Gardner Minshew right now when you need him? He typically finds a way to rear his head somewhere and get somebody's job. 2.1 billion. My goodness. And you say Jameis Winston? I'd love to see Winston have these weapons and throw that ball. I would. See, Mike says Cooper Rush. Coop is right where he needs to be. Because if Baltimore keep doing what they're doing, at some point Lamar gonna be like, all right, I'm tired. I'm just gonna clock out. And then, but I like Coop where he at. He ain't gonna come in there and nah. I get what you're saying though. That's not a bad option to consider, especially since they're desperate. That's probably Jameis and maybe Andy Dalton for nostalgia. Hey, I said the same thing earlier when I said Andy Dalton. It was purely just for that. But you know what? That would be a terrible mistake behind this offensive line. Man, Jamar Chase got all that silver, man. That smile almost blind me just looking at it. How'd they trade for Jarrett Stidham? Should throw him in there. Jarrett Stidham. Try everybody's backup. Call in Mike White. It's bad. Call in the National Guards. Everybody. It's bad. If you got a backup, they're willing to listen. They should be willing to listen. You know what? You know what, Mike? Why not trade like a fifth round pick for Shador? Why not do it? Go get Shador, put him in there. I mean, the excitement he would bring would be one thing. You give him some weapons, and then we can really see what he looks like with some NFL weapons because he'll have some dogs with him. So why not trade for Shador? in this situation. Bring him in and see what he can do. Why not? It'd be a nice little audition for him. The ball in the end around here. That's what happens when you're a quarterback that's lost all confidence right now, and you're just out here trying to just end the game. You say you did the opening date of July 1st, 2026? Mike says Mike White is on the practice squad. Oh, he is? Okay, okay. SM says, what about Davis Mills? I'm personally not going to make that call. I cannot co-sign on giving Davis Mills any opportunity whatsoever. But Jamar Chase is very frustrated. Coming up. 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. But nah, I mean, it's got to be someone else, right? You know what? That's it. We have no other choice. Somebody call Tom Brady. Tell him we need a hero. 9 here for Cincinnati. Throws it. T. Higgins. Reception. Just a formality there. Clock continues to run. Broncos defense playing with a lot of energy here. Last week it was the Vikings. This week it's the Broncos. Who will it be next week? When will the butt weapons stop happening right now for the Cincinnati Bengals? I see, Mike. So you were serious about calling Tannehill? When was the last time Tannehill was on a football field? When was the last time we saw Tannehill on the football field? See, Simon says, "Hey JB, please look a good search for the Bills' new stadium there." So, all right, let JB do a little search and see what JB can come up with. Right, so yeah, Samuel. So yeah, like you were saying, July 1st of 2026 seems to be when it will be open to the fans, the new stadium, but it won't be completed until December of 2026 in terms of the stadium construction being finalized. But they will open it to the public July 1st of 2026, as you mentioned before. But it won't be finalized from a construction standpoint until December of 2026, Samuel. So yeah, and it is Highmark Stadium. CSM says Kirk Cousins, but that contract is crazy. That's where you're gonna have to tell the Falcons, like, hey, we'll give you guys maybe, I don't know, like let's just say a third, but you guys got to eat most of this contract. Like you guys have to eat most of this contract and stuff like that. Like give them that, maybe even a following year pick, which would be crazy, really, but it's what you got to do essentially. That would be crazy. But man, the NFL did not do us too many favors with the matchups today, but that's okay. We still had fun. So run play. RV off the end. Harvey knocked out of bounds. 2:05 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Play Broncos up 28-3. And we are almost at the 2-minute mark. And again, another reminder that the next live stream will be on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern Time, where me, Zoe, and Old Man will have our regular sports talk show and discuss the upcoming week 5 of the NFL season along with college football. Let's see. JB will not be doing Thursday Night Football. I currently have let go of my Amazon subscription there. Just a waste of money there. So yeah, JB will not be going live for Thursday, but Saturday, JB will be going live for that one. I plan on doing the Miami Florida State game. I just got to see what time that game is, but I should have more information by the time we get to our Wednesday stream. That's the one I'm thinking about doing most likely, the Hurricanes versus the Seminoles, that rivalry game. Mike's trying to get banned. Mike's trying to get banned. So if you at the press conference, I'd be like, Mr. Browning, I noticed you left little Browning there. You stink. Oh man. See it now. Jake probably be the kind of person like, you know what? Mr. Mike, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let's see, Sammy says, hey JB, your channel live stream post. I haven't posted it yet. I haven't posted it yet. It says, well, 44 won't hit. And so, yeah, you know what, Lewis? Totally forgot that's the number that you had to get to there. But hey, I mean, Bengals are just that bad. They're just that bad. But they do need a quarterback. They do need a quarterback, and they got to get somebody to throw the ball to my guy T. Higgins. Do it for Yaby. Cortland Sutton, I thank you because you're the reason why I'm gonna win today. What you did, and what Achon did today, getting JB that W. Sammy said, okay. SM said Bengals are tanking. The funny part, SM, is that they're tanking for another player that they're going to argue about not paying, not wanting to give him the guaranteed money, have him miss camp and stuff like that, and probably drop somebody on the offensive end. Who knows? Maybe even another receiver, possibly. What's up, Mike? If you're looking for a Patriot jersey, I might be able to help you out with that, Mike. He said Wikipedia Jake Browning. And so, okay, let's see what pulls up here. All right, and again, just time to just run out that clock. All right, so let's look and see. For a national record, 91 touchdowns as a senior. He was a four-star recruit. Well, back in his Washington days, I mean, he did put up some numbers back there in Washington. That part I can confirm. He was a four-star recruit. Yeah, but back in Washington, yeah, he was a legend. 229 touchdowns. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Samuel said, I think Laney fell asleep. I mean, hey, Laney probably decided, you know what, this game is a blowout. But now I'm sure she's listening to the very end. 23. Let me confirm that there, Mike. I got to scroll down. 2023. Let's see. Says he finished the season with 1,936 yards passing in 2023, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Crazy, crazy. See, Mike says Laney TV's still on. She just fell asleep. Laney says she's still here. I knew Laney was still there. But this game is done. So that's how we got our week started, guys. That's how we got our week started. Yeah, Mike, that was insane. Yeah, I was like NFL leader. I was like, wait a minute now. Had to double check that one myself there. But yeah, guys, this one is over. So JB's got to get ready to get some rest and go to sleep. But thank you guys so much for coming through for this one. I know it's a one-sided affair this time, 28-3, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead on Wednesday. Will be the next live stream. Again, me, old man, and the Zoe, NFL, college football, do our weekly picks, review our picks from last week. Surprise JB did good once again. So, but see how much of a lead I have on everybody else, and we'll go from there. As Samuel said, game is over game. No problem there, Mike. Yep. Good night to you, Samuel. Thanks, Laney. I appreciate you coming through. Have a great night. Take care, SM. Great night. Appreciate you. Yes, and everybody have a great week. Again, JB will be live again on Wednesday. And as Laney said, good night to everyone. Yep, see you next live stream, Samuel. Good night. Good night, Mike. Thanks again for coming through. And yes, have a great work week. And may the weather be nice to us all. But JB signing off. Take care. See everybody next time.